the whole series. Make the argument this is an even harder matchup, and well, I have faith Longinus should be able to put on a bit of a challenge at the very least for LGD. It's only time will tell as well. The draft has started, John. Longinus, they do go for the Beastmaster, Shadow Demon, and LGD straight into that first pick Ember.
Yeah, we've seen that pick Ember countless of times, of course, just with it. A lot of flexibility in where you want to run it as well. Longinus with a Beastmaster Shadow Demon do have strong lanes coming out, and both of them have been pretty common picks, especially that Beast gives you that solid control you're looking for up against the Ember Spirit. The Shadow Demon is pretty solid as well, just great control. So you've got good ways to catch that Ember Spirit, great potential coming out here. LGD though, the Ember Spirit Enchantress, not the most common opening. Like, we tend to see Ember Grimstroke, Ember Kothel. The Enchantress coming out though will make it a bit harder for the Beastmaster to maximize those boars. So we've seen it with the Chen. We toss the Chen in the Beastmaster lane, you take the boar away. This time around you can probably get that done with the Enchantress as well.
It's going to be hard for this Beastmaster. Like, it's never fun having your balls being taken away by this Enchantress, and you can't underestimate how much damage and slow those balls do. They can be excruciating to play against. This is definitely going to be pretty frustrating here for that Beastmaster. But he may end up not going for the ball build and not the Axes build, just to try and ensure she can't get those balls from him. But we'll find out very, very soon. The draft does continue, of course. There is one bat left for our side before we do go on. Looks like LGD will ban the bench. This hero still comes as a surprise to me, John. These bench picks, just out of nowhere, this hero became so much more popular. And I do believe it was due to the fact that Secret was playing it in another tournament just a few days ago. They made it look so darn good. It just seems like every other team now wants to run the bench.
Yeah, but I do see the value in it. You know, like, Swap is always a fantastic spell. It's just such a consistent repositioning tool. And if you have a lineup that can build off of the aura and the wave, then you've got a pretty good time coming out. Really nice amped up damage. We have seen it used to really great effect. It is kind of nice to have. Like, it speeds up your push, helps you clear out a wave faster. And in conjunction with, again, physical damage cores, it can help you snowball pretty fast.
Certainly can. Of course, Longinus, they went ahead and just got rid of the Lycan, which is pretty interesting considering they could have been the ones to take the Lycan for themselves. It seems as though they don't want to run a Lycan draft right now up against LGD. So just getting rid of it in all its glory, and now Longinus. Third pickup. You'd imagine we see a POS 4 pop out here for Longinus now. No, straight to the POS 1 Troll Warlord.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting to see that coming out now. I guess this does give you a solid way of dealing with the Enchantress and gives you additional control on the Ember after Roar if you get a couple of roots. So it is potent in that sense. You know, you build up attack speed for the Ench, can just tear her down. Is quite curious to see that. We normally tend to see the Troll with something like the Oracle, and I mean, there's still value in it here, but it's a bit outside of the usual kind of drafting order we're used to see. So we'll see whether or not LGD can respond to this. There are a lot of options they could take for themselves if they wanted. The Oracle would be pretty darn good up against a Troll. Like, you have a natural disarm. You make it harder for him to chase down whoever has False Promise on. LGD could probably just take it for themselves. It still kind of fits into their draft here.
Wait, why don't they actually take the Wyvern? And I was about to ask about that as well. Like, Longinus, were they trying to bait LGD to take the Oracle just with that Troll pickup, and LGD doesn't do it? I'd argue the Wyvern's better anyway. You've got the Curse, you've got the Cold Embrace. It's gonna make this Troll's life very hard, and it's not really a support we see so much these days, that Wyvern, but it still can be very, very effective, and especially up against a hero like Troll that is so reliant on just auto attacking. It's not gonna be fun.
Oh, it definitely isn't. It's gonna be a bit hard to get the best Winter's Curse here as the Winter Wyvern. You have to be conscious about the Shadow Demon in particular, so when you catch the hero you want, you have to make sure Shadow Demon's in that AoE, because otherwise you can just kind of disrupt and save the target, so that it could just be a waste of ult if you're not careful. That's something for LGD to consider, but Winter Wyvern, beyond that, it has great living presence. When you look at the Enchantress and Winter Wyvern, that's already a lot sticking here. So you do have a lot going on with that. And as you mentioned, it's just great against the troll if you manage to find a good target. So that can certainly play in there. Longinus does pick up the Necrophos themselves. And that is something Longinus does pick a lot. Like, they've played it a ton in those closed qualifiers. Does make an appearance here. It's a comfort pick for them. Can be potent, you know, like it can really pump up the damage. One good Reaper's Sight will kind of cause issues for LGD, and with the Necrophos you've got another way of locking in that Ember. So you have a Roar, you have Roots if you manage to get them out, and Sight, which can keep that Ember in place long enough for you to maybe get him bursted down.
Yeah, I don't mind the Necrophos pick here. Question is where they're going to lane that though, because you are still going to be up against an Ember. We did see it last game, yesterday. There was an Ember versus Necrophos matchup, which actually ended up favoring the Necrophos, if I remember correctly. Usually it should be the other way around though. Still, LGD, they go into the Brewmaster now, which is another one of those picks I wasn't really expecting to see, but it is one of those heroes that can create all kinds of havoc in the team fight. I think the Cyclone quite nice as well. Into that troll, into the Necrophos, and if I remember correctly with Brewmaster, his Storm Spirit does have a purge ability, like a Dispel. An AoE Dispel, in fact. I'm not sure if that really works on Ghost Shroud, however, but I guess we'll find out. It's been so long since I played Brewmaster, so I'm not 100% sure how well the Dispel is.
Yeah, it's really a lot of value against a troll in particular. I think that's what they're looking for. The missed chances just makes it a bit harder for the troll to consistently get the damage out. And of course, as you mentioned, just highly disruptive. The potential for a purge, if it does work that way, Necrophos says his Ghost Shroud is dispellable, but really just as simple, the spell works. So that is a great solution for it if it does still work that way. And it's gonna be hard to deal with. You don't really have the best heroes on Longinus' side to punch the Brewmaster. Like Roar is again, and Roar and Sight are your best options, but again, you're trying to save those for the Ember. So there are two sort of slippery heroes here for LGD to play around with, and Longinus has to kind of make a decision in these fights. Who are they going to focus down first, the Brew or the Ember?
Going to be a hard decision to make for Longinus, I'm sure. Now, the final pickup here for LGD, we're looking for old 11s here, I believe, and
5 seconds remaining.
What kind of pos want they do or run here on LGD? Can be a bit hard to decide when you are up against heroes like that Troll Necrophos. Bit awkward, but okay, they're gonna go into the Medusa. Not really what I was expecting, but it's well, there's no counters towards it right now at Longinus. It does feel like a free Medusa game.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams get a lot of effectivity from that Medusa. If you give it enough space, it can certainly shine. And in this case, you know, the rest of LGD's lineup can buy it that space. There's just not much else. The rest of LGD's farm up. Maybe a Blink on the Brewmaster, you know, maybe a Spirit Vessel on the Ember Spirit. That's it. You know, it's not much farm. They can make space for the Medusa. Longinus has to be able to punish that hero. They do close out their draft with the Batrider. So just like Longinus doesn't have an answer for the Medusa per se, LGD doesn't have the best of saves for that. So they have to be a bit careful about that strong initiation. You pull them back and get the sight off. It is really potent. You don't have the Shadow Demon in your side. You don't have a Tusk. You don't have an Abaddon or an Oracle for the Purge. So it is a bit tricky there. That does give Longinus a bit of a better way of finding control. The key thing here is LGD again, give Medusa space to farm. For Longinus, they have to play fast. They have to really force the advantage while your Necrophos is strong. We've seen a lot of teams sit on the back of the Necrophos and not play aggressive enough. The hero does kind of taper off if you're not careful. Like the damage output kind of starts dwindling down, but the sustain stays pretty okay. You still do want to really maximize every time it's up. In fact, you want to maximize the sight, the roar, and the lasso. You can't leave them hanging around for too long.
No, I definitely agree with that. It definitely gonna make those use those spells off cooldown every time if you're Longinus. It's something we talk about a lot when you're versing these late game sort of drafts, especially up against a team like LGD, who aren't exactly going to take much time to farm. Somnus is going to be able to farm very, very quick on this Dusa, especially off the back of FY and X Nova, who probably will be stacking up a lot for him. Time is going to be of the essence this game for Longinus to try and make something happen throughout the mid game. Or LGD, no games, just having the screen just on standby. There's no.
Heck no, I love winning. Yep. Oh, we get this too.
Yes.
No, we get this too. Oh, this is.
No, we don't get to play it.
Oh, but we gotta watch it. Okay, let's see how many people don't. Someone just. Oh, that's.
So for anyone that doesn't know what's going on now, there's a mini game where you play musical chairs.
Only 4 of them played at the start.
Well, that's the standard. That's pretty standard, right? Like, no, half the team or half the players just don't want to play. My X Nova. I love winning.
That he does. There goes the chat field as well. Okay. Yeah, it is going to be that mid Necrophos. So it's a Necrophos up against a Medusa lane. There are ways for the Necrophos to kind of pull ahead there. You do have to really be cautious about Mystic Snake though. Like that can really hurt. But otherwise, it shouldn't be too hard for the Necrophos, because as long as you get your last hits, Heartstopper will keep you up.
Yeah. Thing is, how do you deal with the Medusa? That's the main issue here, right? Like, maybe early on you don't have so many issues up against Omnis, but I wonder, like, on that troll, do we see something like a diffusal blade being built?
Yeah.
Is that necessary?
Yeah, I think it is. It pretty much gives you a very easy way to burn through the Medusa and turns her into a non-factor. If beyond that as well, like you could just disruption spam her, turn her against herself. The damage can be annoying to deal with towards that late game. You have great ways to isolate her as well. Again, you have really good single target spells here from Longinus. The key thing is really diffusal on troll. Probably not a Battle Fury game at all. So you would want maybe a fast diffusal into SNY or even diffusal dasher, depending on what Piao wants, but it should definitely be a lot more of an active game for Longinus, because we've seen this before. We've seen this exactly yesterday in the eHome versus the DEC matchup. You know, where one team got the Medusa, the other side had a faster core that decided to farm, and then afterwards you had a Spectre as well, and it's the same story. You can't afford to play a farming game against Medusa. Medusa will kind of overtake. So Longinus just has to play fast and hard, shut it down fast, ward the jungle. That's where a lot of teams have kind of fell short, just monitoring that jungle farm and punishing it. While the rest of LGD is going to try to make space, just hunt the Dusa. And that's going to be key. Try to shut down Somnus.
Right. Well, while we're waiting, we may as well have a quick look at the EGD. Now that on the screen for you guys, PSG.LGD on 1.02. Longinus sitting at 12.0. That is, it's been a very, very long time since I've seen betting on that wild of a swing between the two. I mean, it's just such a big deal.
Yeah,
some people take risks.
I agree, that's recurring, but lots up against Bernie wasn't a great I can't say it was a bad choice, but just gonna show up was very fast series from RNG. I do like the draft this time. Like a lot of the action is down to a bit of draft for long. Quite get there. Or first, this is that like you look at past games and the close qualifier. I think every single one that goes on. It's a play around Holland. Hopefully maximum here, but I'll prove.
Yeah, it's it was very rough for time. Yes, that it's the thing that you can't close as you. No. He's got anyway. You know, worst case scenario, sometimes you just want to kind of see on what scale the difference is between you and a team like LGD or a team like RNG, and yeah, it'll their progression on this. But what would help even more if they just beat LGD this series.
Yeah, and that's the idea, right? The key you want to win, and it's gotta climb that mountain here along this nice to see Moriarty's feeling gleeful, knowing from LGD giving him the boing back. There you go, Eknova, yeah, do it. Where's the boings? Come on, lads.
Everyone's just sitting there pretty sad stuff. Nobody wanting to show off their points. Eknova, the only one that's really willing to party. Moriarty.
Yeah, it's I wonder what he does before though, like on his support build here. Is it gonna impetus or is he just gonna go straight for the enchant to annoy the heck out of that Beastmaster? And Moriarty as well.
Enchant, right?
Yeah, but sometimes the Beastmaster does pull a bit of a tricky one and skips Boar's level 1, and we've seen that a couple of times against the Chen. Impetus does give you a lot more lane presence. Just spamming it is pretty darn good. You want to have that damage early on, while you can kind of afford to drain your mana to 0 or close to it. And then afterwards you get to reset. Probably the thing you're going to be looking for from Eknova, more than likely, although, there you go. Correct. They don't need him. There you go. Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
我是一个没有感情的刷
Just a
钱机
bit.
器。
Got the trigger. Someone's planted a big chicken down.
Yeah.
一个
GD's
没有
started.
感情的刷钱机器。
The steps distortion makes it look a bit more
你打我呀！
than it should be,
你打我
but
呀！
it's a lovely little spray. You would want to spray it in front of your opponent, so for the maximum mental game value.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Eknova just doing what everyone does in my pub, focusing on their own teammates and just tilting them instead. Not the way you do it if you want to win a game, but this is LGD. I'm sure they can afford to play around with each other here with these chickens.
Yeah. So,
是一个没有感情的
so
刷
I
钱
wonder if
机
they have
器。
flags. You know, that's not something we've seen the players drop yet. Like, surely they have a guild for themselves. It is nice to mark territory as your own, Mike.
Seconds to
It
battle.
is.
你洗你上你上。
I'm sure they do. It's not showing it right now. A mid matchup between the Necrophos and the Medusa. I don't know how this is going on the Necrophos. I'm going to say, like, Somnus. I'm not saying that he's going to be able to force the Necrophos out, but how do you slow Somnus down this mid lane with the Necro? I just don't see it
打
happening.
我呀！
The battle begins.
It's a tricky one. You have to be very cautious of your spacing, mainly because of that Mystic Snake, but the Necropose itself is probably not under too severe of a threat. Again, Heartstopper can sustain you quite a fair bit anyway, and as long as you keep finding those last hits, you're pretty fine. Level 1 to 2 is your hardest point. Level 3 is when you kind of have a better time. Somnus should just be pretty okay from the get-go as long as he doesn't cop too many death pulses at level 1.
Even how do you get range for a death pulse up against Medusa? Like, it's like Mystic Snake flies out like that. I don't think that SS is be willing to get close enough on Somnus to dish out damage. Focus on his own CS. Should be a very, very even lane between these two, right? Because the first will have the read on himself anyway every time he gets CS. They'll probably just trade farm for quite a while. Maybe we'll just have a look at the other lane, but we'll see Chalice on the top lane with Nova. You have the Beastmaster there, the Batrider, up against the Bimbo, which in theory shouldn't actually be a very, very easy lane for that Batrider. At all. Is this this is a Oz 4 Beast?
It does look that way. I'm a level 1 Inner Beast faulting.
Wow.
Never seen that one before. McCarthy kind of getting chased down here. Yeah. Yep.
No, he's dead. He's definitely
No.
gone. It's over, yeah. He got the block off. Chalice, he gets the first block. On the side of LGD, and I don't want to say I've never seen position 4 Beastmaster, because I feel like I've seen it once, like years ago.
Inner Beast though?
Well,
The
yeah,
Inner
I
Beast
don't-
level 1. Like, really? The Batrider.
Yeah.
Well,
Bob, old 11. He finds Dodo now on the Shadow Demon. Yeah, I've seen it once, I'm pretty sure, and it did not work out that time. Yeah, my axes up. I don't really know what you're going to be able to do up against Chalice. Like, I thought with the sticky napalm spam, they'd be able to, you know, really slow Chalice down quite a lot. They probably will, but put the possible Beastmaster.
I guess on paper you don't need too much farm. I mean, if you are just focused on roar rather than push potential, you just need a blink down the line, but not as much investment. Like the Batrider can certainly build up, and you want a fast blink, 4 staff travels. You can invest a bit better in that hero, then transition towards the beast as the game goes on.
Bot lane, F1, they're really trying to focus down this one. I'll just keep making sure I remain safe on that Winter Wyvern, and will be the case. F1 have pretty all two moods there as well, apparently. Having a little bit. Good.
Yeah. Like the bot lane isn't going too bad for LGD. Again, they found that kill. They are somewhat keeping that troll in check. Like Holy 11 isn't too far behind, and Piao has been forced to really help his support in that aggression. So there's not too much build potential with a troll Shadow Demon as well, which does give LGD a bit better time in terms of just being straight up more aggressive.
Top lane, flat. Trying to make a play onto, I believe it was Chalice. He just is perfectly fine with that. X-Nova was around, of course, using that impetus to force them back, and this off block's not really doing too much. Not yet, anyway. They are trying. It is hard as well, right? Like, you got that Firefly sneaky napalm, but the problem is the Ember's gonna have Flame Guard available, and you have a block a significant amount of the magic damage out. Even with the well, they're magic damage now, so Alice should just be able to avoid the damage coming in anyway.
Yeah, it's really not the best of times. Like even now, a Batrider's all out of mana. Like has to extend mana, but you tend to see Batriders at this point look for a reset. As a portal, you can't afford to reset. So he's just he ferries out player keys, he's got some of that, but how long this will go off for is a different question if you want to stay in that lane.
Yeah, you're just kind of stuck here now. But looking back to that mid lane, it is very, very even. 20-21 in terms of all hits, which is really to be expected. Again, neither one can really apply so much pressure on the other, but it does feel like it favors Somnus more, right? Like he's the one who really wants that farm anyway. Of course, system as well on Necrophos, but you get my point. And while that was happening, bot lane Dota does go down on the Shadow Demon once again to 11. But you get my point with the Medusa, right? Like the Necrophos, although it enjoys the farm, is going to be able to do quite as much as the Medusa will be able to.
Yeah, like it is still a good start for Somnus. I think the key thing is your Necros does get a start like this, which is fairly even. You want to use that early start fast because Necros with decent farm at 10 minutes in is kind of has stronger precedent than Medusa. Like Medusa like the farm, but all you do with that is farm some more. So you need to be active with the Necros to make it matter.
Lane, they try to go onto FY again. He just kind of kites them out now. Here, taking a lot of damage. Can't underestimate that Cinder damage either from old 11. It does do a hell of a lot. But just finding out the hard way that they really just can't kill this weapon. Fortunately for him, he lost more HP than FY did.
It's not the best trades for Longinus. As they invest in here.
Yeah, the possible Beast Monster not really working out too well so far. He does go down and looks like he was trying to take some XP in that off lane while the Barat was going to the dump for a reset. Unfortunately, he will lose his life in the meantime, and that's gonna make it an 0-4 for LGD and drop 1 death here.
Yeah, it's not a massive lead in terms of net worth, but you often see things pop out very early on Old 11 means that it's going to be much harder to run away once they find a charge. Old 11 should be able to apply a lot more damage there as well.
I mean, they just forced PL back to the fountain. He's going to make the Walker Chain back up. He actually had a career with a salve on the way, but it felt like he beat Spot that. If this keeps up, they're going to really start losing quite a bit of an advantage as a bad work. Well, right now, top lane, Chalice, he can't get last, so this should be a pretty big kill, but Chalice will be able to run it away. And there are 7 stick napalm charges on him, but it won't matter. He'll TP to the fountain, get a reset, and run it back.
Yeah, I mean, I get why you're kind of forced to do that, just to maybe try to go for a gank kill or force some spell use, but that's the first last, it's not going to be up.
Well, they do end up finding 11 bot lane, so first kill for Longinus, now board. Don't know the one to pick that up with the Shadow Poison. It's a bit of good news here for Longinus. We're on a bit of a dry spell with kills anyway, so good news for them.
Yeah, it helps out a bit. It doesn't quite bounce back Piao. He is still behind Old 11 in terms of farm, so he would have liked to get the last instead, but you take what you can get. The biggest thing right now for Longinus is, as we approach the 10-minute mark, none of their heroes are ready to really rotate on the Dusa. So with that bit of early lead LGD has in terms of momentum, Somnus should have secured himself really free space in the jungle to just keep farming.
I mean, he's got the 3 Wraith Bands up on the Medusa now. Hard enough to kill as it is, and Old 11 is just kind of rotating with Chalice. They're going straight on that Necrophos. X-Nova even showing up, and they just collapse on mid, and it's actually going to work. Nobody's TPing.
Ooh.
I think you may have been... No, everyone really had a TP, just nobody felt confident enough to help. And with that, LGD just going to confidently take a T1 mid tower with 0 contention.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything they could really do at that point, though. Like, you want Piao to just farm. He has nothing. He's saving it for phase release. Just use that space to farm up. You sack your Necros. You lose the mid tier 1. That hurts a lot more. So you don't have an access point there. You don't have the best of ways to access the jungle that LGD wants. And even LGD, their wards are much less defensive, much more offensive. They've warded the entire triangle mid lane of Longinus. So you don't really have a safe spot there. LGD just has your number.
Mid lane, X-Nova, he's just roaming around the map now. SS, he's been spotted out again. Does have that Ghost Shroud available. Meanwhile, does find FY down at the bot lane, but that was a 3-hero rotation. They may lose the Necrophos in the process, and that's not going to be worth the time. It will. Somnus the one to pick it up on the Medusa, and now Dota has been caught out. And Dota probably going to die here. There's really no surviving this as the Shadow Demon. In fact, they're picking more in the Batrider. Has to be careful about his positioning. Somnus just going to throw up some neutral items while he's there. And, let's find a poor man's shield. Old 11 has to go back and pick it up for the team. Somnus just left it on the ground. X-Nova may die to the troll and does so. Piao, he does pick up another kill on that troll warlord. That'll make it a 3-7. But it's quite concerning that you lost that mid-tier 1 tower so early for Longinus and Chalice. Look how confident this man is. He's just running straight in. He didn't get the chains off though, which is a bit of a... Well, it's a bit of a shame for Chalice, but he won't mind. It's fine. They're still getting all the farm in the world.
That's Longinus really needs to... I'd say they need to go back and play safe. There's just no safe spot. Again, look at the words LGD has. They need to play around the top jungle if they want to find some farm, but they haven't even taken that tier 1. So the map has completely shrunk. Longinus, they probably just need to collapse on top of the tier 1 top and play in that jungle area because you can't play in your own jungle. Too many wards there.
Just choking them out now. Like, Piao is getting chased down by X-Nova. It's never good news when the position 5 is forcing your POS 1, who's 3 levels ahead, to go back. It's X-Nova's just, he's just going to control this Radiant jungle very, very nicely now. And Longinus, well, they've kind of got to play the catch game. Top lane, Frank just cursed there from FY, and that's going to mean the Beastmaster's just dead. Double-11 now going to rotate as well, and the Battle Rider really probably has no way out of it. LGD, just being careful in case there are rotations. There'll be a mass on FY. There should be a trade as FY does go down, and now Piao does cut in on the troll. He'll try to go after Double-11, gets a nice and snare off, and should be able to secure the kill with the battle trance. However, they have lost the bat. Chalice, what can you do up against 3 heroes? Not much if you get Reaper's Sight, and he will go down. And that actually ends up being a good team fight for the side of Longinus.
Yeah, they've managed to punish LGD, forcing out that movement while they didn't have the primal split. They didn't have it available, and he was trying to buy enough time. He was about 10 seconds off when he died, and get some good punishment out. They take that top tier 1, so now they do have space on the map to kind of farm up. This does give Longinus a bit of a way back in. They haven't corrected the net worth disadvantage they have, but they do have an opportunity to at least get farm in Piao now.
It'll be very, very important as well. Piao, he's trying to rush that Maelstrom build on the troll, and I mean, we kind of talked about the build as well earlier on. Would he go for a diffusal build here on the troll warlord up against that Deuce? The answer is so far no. Get chased down, get that Cinder Brew, keeping him quite down, and it's just where to go. He's just going to try and fight back now. Does eventually die. Just getting caught out of position there. Like, I guess he just feels like there's nowhere to farm, so he has to take the hard farm. Not generally what you want though if you're the POS 1.
Yeah, but he really has no space. Again, bot lane has been, or was completely warded up by LGD. The top jungle, probably your safest bet. If you take that outpost, it just becomes a little bit easier as well. Although LGD, feeling confident, are smoked up.
SS gonna get caught out here though. At the Beastmaster with Roar around, LGD may feel a bit pressured not to fight. Double-11 was already preemptively committing the split in case he had to. That's the one real thing you worry about, right? If you are LGD, just don't get caught by that Beastmaster rule. If you're Double-11, as long as that doesn't happen, the chances of losing the team fight are pretty slim right now for LGD. And Double-11 is still trying to find a way onto that high ground right now. So LGD still want to fight. They don't really mind having the Medusa draft. They feel very, very confident.
Yeah.
Down bot lane.
They've got the Aether Lens on FY, so it's so much easier to catch someone without Winter's Curse. Longinus has to be pretty careful with how far they go up in the lane.
Are they just cut? Even if you make a jump on Somnus, he's got the Stone Gaze. So it's just an incredibly hard team fight to take, and not to mention Somnus is level 13. You compare them currently to the level 11 of the Necros, and top lane FY just go for a solo Winter's Curse right now. Piao, rotations are coming in from Chalice. Piao will try to fight back, but a Cold Embrace is going to save the day for FY for now. But now Chalice doesn't really want to take this fight any longer. There will be a roar from Double-11. Chalice, he might actually die, and he does. Double-11, he finally gets the split off. but he doesn't really do much damage by himself. I think he may just need to leave. It's Nova, he comes in. Yeah, they're just losing it flying Chalice like that just means you can't go any further.
Yeah, but they still take out Longinus's win condition. You know, they force out the troll. Not quite done yet though.
Doesn't get Reaper's Sight. That's enough for Old 11 to go back in now. Somnus does eventually TP up on the Deucer. Looks like they're just gonna get back to farming. Just maybe a bit of a misplay there from LGD. Can't be feeling too good about that.
They did kind of stream in a bit disjointedly, like that's very early Winter's Curse from FY. Went straight for it without waiting for the backup to really be there, and that does kind of cost them. But again, LGD is hunting down the win condition of Longinus. It is on the troll. There is no one else that can scale as nicely. Like Necrophos has a timer. Could argue FS has kind of hit that timer. 16 minutes in, you haven't had best of farm, and further farm is just really going into durability. LGD knows that. They still are buying space for Somnus. They need to play aggressive. They haven't sacrificed their Medusa. Their trades have been wonky, but in the end, you know, you're getting so much farm on Somnus, you don't really mind.
That is very true, actually. Like, Somnus is just having a great little time already at the Vanta. Going straight into that Eye of Skadi next.
Top tower is under attack.
LGD, well, like you said, they just want to keep fighting right now. Just keep buying the space for Somnus. They do invade that Radiant Triangle, but find nobody walking up the cliff. And, well, they'll take the top tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, their mid tier 1 will start being pushed in. But they will come in to defend this.
Middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
There are some heroes wrapping from the back as well. FY can look for a nice Winter's Curse. Of course, Old 11 will have the split up in about 7 seconds. They are going to start making the chase on Dodo now, just try and slow him down. Rain chains out from Chalice. He caught the Batrider as well. Old 11 now does commit the split. A curse in the background, just trolling up that Troll Warlord. So Dodo will finally die. Out the stone phase as well. It does get the Necrophos just before the TP ended, and that'll mean Piao probably will die, but maybe he'll find FY before he does, and he does get him, even through the Cold Embrace. But it won't matter. It'll be a 3-for-1 trade. And now LGD, they can just keep capitalizing on this map.
Yeah, you're at the point where Somnus is ready to just fight. Like, even if he only has basically a Manta, he's ready to go. He joins in with his team. They manage to find the kills. Again, they keep killing off Longinus's win condition. Like, the troll is still not fighting anything. He does have that Maelstrom that we saw in effect earlier. He's going straight for Yasha into a BKB. So there's nothing that will melt Somnus at all. No diffusal to take away from that shield. It just makes it harder to even think about jumping that Medusa.
It really does seem like they haven't really figured out what they're going to do about that yet.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, the Maelstrom can do work, but it's, you know, Maelstrom already got nerfed a bit ago. It's not going to be enough. You don't even have to. No need to pretend. The Medusa is just going to be way too tanky. And of course, once you get that level 25 talent as well, depending on what Somnus feels like he needs, he may actually just go for the split shot modifiers, because he has an Eye of Skadi up so early. It's like, why not? I don't even know if he's going to need that extra mana.
Yeah, it's I reckon not. Again, there's just no way they're going to burn through it. There are a couple of tools now for Longinus though, like they've got the blink on their Batrider, so there is an opportunity to jump in and maybe find a good lasso target. The issue is you don't really have anyone to follow up with you. You don't have highly mobile heroes in the game, and you don't really have a Force Staff yet.
Tower is under attack.
They gotta try though. That's the thing, right? Like you can't drag out this game not up against Medusa. What do you need?
Moriarty.
Yeah, he's trying to take the outpost back for that 20-minute mark, but FY will say no. But Curse, sir, he will die. Up at the top, Piao to find Old 11 trying to take a boundary rune, and actually Old 11 does manage to take it away. Piao just trying to actually just fight here, but Old 11 continues to slow him down, so the battle trance will be popped, but there is the Primal Splitter coming up. And he denies off that other bounty from the Necrophos while he's there. Just being very, very disruptive on this Brewmaster.
Yeah, it's that gold is so important now for Longinus. Even though it's it's a bounty in most games, 20 minutes. You don't really think about it as much, but they're so far behind the 20 minutes in that you really would feel that 80 gold per hero. It's just so important, and not even having that really hurts Longinus. Although they do smoke up, they want to play around his blink.
It seems important to do so. Even if you find X Nova, it's just something. You don't really want to commit the lasso for this, so they're going to try not to, but Old 11 shows himself again. X Nova, but still surviving with those double braces. He doesn't really just walk.
No.
But now at least he does, and now the roar comes out, but it does nothing. Dono also going down, and the Battlefighter could be in huge trouble. They will lose him as well. I thought they would just commit the lasso. Just get an earlier kill and back off. But they wanted to secure another kill after X Nova, and well, now they don't find any.
Yeah, they're gonna lose out on the rush as well. Yeah, they don't really have a way of fighting inside without the roar. I mean, that's a massive loss for one. Like, yeah, they're pressured to find these kills. They should have used that lasso. They really should have. At least X Nova was still a kill. It's not a big kill, but they would have actually found it, you know. And they don't get anything for the trouble. They lose out in Roche. They still are trying to play that farming game. Like, you look at Piao, does have the Ogre Axe up. Still a long way away from that BKB. Then, with that BKB, you're still going to be susceptible to that Stone Gaze. So even then, it's not going to be a great time. And you look at Somnus. Immediately after the Saudi, straight into the Divine. He's not playing around.
No messing around from Somnus, just straight Divine plays.
Bottom tower has fallen.
I imagine, just judging by the pace of his farming, he won't take too long. Chalice actually going to be in a bit of trouble, and yeah, he gets lassoed up top lane and will die. Nice play from the Batrider, and immediately the tips come out, even from X Nova. Giving the team over to Chalice. Meanwhile, mid lane, that was a great curse that was set up there for the Stone Gaze Somnus, and they will be able to secure one. Should be two here onto SS as well. They do get an F1 with a double now. In fact, they won a third, so why not? Let's go after that Beastmaster who's currently just flying in the air. Be a nice, easy kill for Somnus. And that'll be a tier 2 mid tower to go down as well.
Yeah, it's trying their best here, Longinus. Like, they just have Piao kind of split pushing. It's the best they can do because they can't really commit to the fight. They will probably have to take a lot of damage on this tier 3, if not lose it outright though. I mean, again, you're not going to be dealing with 2 lives of Somnus anytime soon.
No, you are not. Somnus is happily going to take the tier 3. Doesn't have much mana, but I don't think he minds. You on the minor side have a roar available on that Beastmaster, but Chalice almost finds the Batrider up top, trying to get that revenge. Another tip to come out onto Chalice. Poor old Chalice is probably wondering what he's done wrong today. You deserve this. They are still going to fight Rax regardless, so LGD, they'll be happy, they'll walk out of it.
Able to get much done because the tier 2s are still up, so that's a bit of a blessing for Longinus. Like, they're not going to be bleeding too hard just yet. It's still a very uphill climb right now for Longinus. Like, they have a lot of catching up to do. You look at the farm that's coming out on LGD. Chalice is saving up for his Ags. You know, he's still about 2 parts away in terms of gold there, so still a bit of a build-up, but once that's up, it's going to be so much harder to keep that Ember on lockdown. You look at Somnus, he switched out from the Divine, is going for the Butterfly, so he wanted to play it safe, not going to risk it with 1 Divine drop, and that's fair enough. Not as fun, but it is a bit of a safer play. GG.
The thing is, I don't think he needs a Divine. I don't think he needs a Butterfly. I think he can walk high ground right now and take Mega Creature if he really wanted to. No, quite honestly, though, with the Aegis, it's just... They've got nowhere to get through his HP and mana.
No, they really don't. And a nice little play from Chalice. He was force-feeding Somnus some mangoes to get his mana back up. There you go.
That's
it up.
Play from Chalice.
Just shove those mangoes in, insert in the slot, and your core is happy.
Excellent. It's gonna jump into the back lines, gets a nice chainsaw, but they won't fight for it now. Lasso, everyone's jumping on Chalice. He'll be fine though. Omnis does pop the Stone Gaze. Now the Bat Rider forced to BKB. Now Raw and
no.
at the same time.
No.
Yeah, so Somnus essentially has that stun perched up for himself, and now the curse there from F9 to set up. They will jump in. 11, a huge stun. They do eventually get the Reaper side, but it's not going to matter. In fact, Piao just away. He's so slow right now. He will pop the Battle Trance, and they will be able to get the Aegis. That's one positive. LG backing off actually, so they may have a chance of getting Somnus here, but here comes Charles, ready to protect his teammate. Still, they're just whacking away here. Somnus trying to fight back. There's the cold place, but he is out of mana, and the rest of LGD, they've kind of just left him. So Somnus will actually die, and that is going to be a lot of gold and XP going to the way of Longinus. That wasn't something I was expecting, but there it is.
Yeah, that did cost them all their buybacks, but that is still a successful defense for Longinus. They have kept their high ground down bot safe. So there's a few more minutes to breed, and LGD have to be a bit careful. You can't afford to keep bleeding kills away like that for long. You are starting to see the troll really kick in. The BKB is effective, especially when the Stone Gaze is already committed. So you have to watch out for when you do pop that spell. And you do have to be careful with Chalice. That was down to the fact that Chalice did get lassoed. They were forced to use that Stone Gaze earlier on when no one was really even attacking the Medusa. So a bit of a wasted spell use there from LGD, and tighten up that execution just a bit.
11 just kind of roaming around the bot lane, does see Dodo and throws out the Cinder Brew again. Dodo does disrupt, but it's probably going to be a death for him anyway, as Old 11 doesn't care. He just pops the primal split and it's the X-Note over now, trying to fight with this Bat Rider. And I think the Bat Rider may have gone too far, but he does get his BKB off and tries to go for the lasso, but a curse is there from FY. It won't save X-Nova. Well, actually a nice blink away from that bat, but there'll be remnants there from Chalice, and they will secure the kill. Easy stomp at LGD.
Yeah, they did throw out the Stone Gaze as well in Somnus though, so you're not going to have that tool for about a minute. And I'd say that's a minute where LGD shouldn't really force a big fight, but they've got more bodies to throw out anyway, if that is the case though. Still a numbers advantage there. Longinus with his downtime is trying to farm up. Like Piao is saving up for the Satanic, does have the full SMY and BKB of course. So with the Satanic, it's going to be easier for him to try to sustain. It's not going to be as effective because Somnus already has Scotty. You've already got the Spirit Vessel earlier from Old 11, so it's not going to be the best for the troll, but he still needs it. You know, it's like you just want to be able to stand in man fight. Satanic will kind of enable that.
Butterfly now up on Somnus though. Makes it a little bit harder for Longinus. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to farm up that Satanic. So I know he needs it, but LG, they're looking to go high ground again. They have the Stone Gaze, they have it in about 30 seconds. Might be a bit early for LGD to try this, but they definitely want to give it a shot it seems. Chalice does TP his way to the outpost.
Ooh.
Curse, FY, just jumping in. Nice disruption will be there for Dona, but Old 11 just follows up with the Cinder Brew once again. Now the Stone Gaze as well. They will actually cold embrace up Old 11 in the middle of all of this, but he will be fine. Now Piao does pop the BKB, trying to go off to Somnus. Lashley is there on Chalice as well. Reaper's Sight will secure the Chalice kill. Piao just can't get through the Medusa haze, or maybe he can. He does get on the X-Nova now. Cold embrace on X-Nova, and Piao, without that battle trap, will not survive. Now, yeah, so he's trying to Ghost Shroud away, but he really just couldn't move in the Ghost Shroud as he was stunned up, and he is eventually just going to die. And even trying to go for a disruption there to maybe find X-Nova, who does actually die to the illusions, but it will cost him his own life. No buybacks on any of those heroes, and the only one left is the Bat Rider, who did manage to get F1 on the Wyvern while they were taking out Dodo. But you're going to lose enough racks here if you are Longinus.
Yeah, I mean, they still do find a couple of nice kills. It's not enough to really stem the tide, and there's only so much you can expect a solo bat to do here. That
He's
perspective
trying
is
to-
annoying.
He's going to be frustrating with this sticky path. The kick is going to be frustrating as well. Somnus will get through.
Yeah,
It's going to take a while.
it's been so long too that Stone Gaze is back up for Somnus. So you can't even commit with a respawn. And LGD, when their own heroes are back up, they could just go again.
They don't even need to go again straight away. The Roshan's up very, very soon.
Ah, that's true. Just go rogue.
Somnus can... Yeah, Somnus might just say, let's go claim the Roshan. He's also sitting at 3.3k gold right now on that Medusa. And finds a paladin. Okay, well that's not
That's standard.
unnecessary.
It's standard though. We see this all the time. You're already ahead? Sure, here, have this level 3 tier 3 paladin sword for you. So yeah,
Next time getting lassoed up again. But Remnants challenge.
Oh, no.
All to commit the raw next over, but that is not going to help their cause. Because again, just so perfect from FY. Onto the Necrophos, now they'll get started. On to Dodo on that Shadow Demon. They do burst down the Beast Master, but Somnus' Courier of all things ends up going down. Now Dodo ends up losing his life. They are also going to lose the Necrophos, but Piao trying to man fight with that Battle Trance again. Does he actually get anything off here? Not quite. They had a Heaven's Halberd. So Piao dies, and well, Reaper Science will secure a Chalice on the Ember. That's good news, but still gonna lose that Necrophos, and they also end up getting FY. That's quite nice. The Batrider should be able to fly out of there. I guess this may actually delay things in terms of Roshan. In fact, never mind. They are making their way to the Roshan pit.
and once more, Mike, Somnus queuing up the Divine. Just wants it done. He's tired.
It was a bit of a struggle on that high ground. I can't blame him too much. Might feel like he's lacking some damage here. And he's going to have it very, very soon. He's already made a slot for the Aegis, but I'm sure he'll just get rid of his one. Nothing like Divine. In fact, he even takes the cheese for himself. He's taking everything, Somnus.
Yeah. He's the big guy in the team right now, and like, you look at Chalice, you look at OD11, they're actually behind in terms of net worth to the Batrider and the Troll. So it really is the Somnus show here. A lot of that lead is just on the Medusa. You might as well keep him as protected as possible.
Somnus. You think he buys the Divine out like now, Aegis, or do you think he just keeps the gold just in case? Like it kind of seems like he's just gonna buy it.
Yeah. I don't think he'll save. Not when he has the Aegis cheese. You don't really have anything to stop the cheese from being effective. You don't have a Spirit Vessel on. So, yeah, just there it is. There, it's there. Divine's up. There you go.
Perfect.
Radiant's top
Yeah,
tower
so
is under
That's it.
attack.
That's all they want. You have the split shot modifiers as well. So,
Oh, nice.
ooh, Scotty all over the place.
And those towers, they're gonna really start melting down Somnus.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
You got the Aegis, you got all your heroes up, you've got every ultimate you could ask for. It is time for another high ground attempt at LGD. And X-Nova killing the set. Very, very nice.
Oh.
Jump in the Batrider again, trying to find FY. Like he does get cursed up, so FY just forced to commit that curse, but they're not going to be able to secure the Batrider kill. He does BKB and just walk away here, but Chalice is on the case. And without Firefly, it is very, very hard to get away. That's the Batrider dead with no buyback available.
Yeah. The biggest thing Longinus has been doing is Dodo's illusion spam has been super annoying, although...
Dodo. Primal Split going to be cancelled there from Old Left. They do secure the kill on that Shadow Demon. And
Yeah.
there's the GG call. I mean, they just understood. They can't actually contest any further. That's it.
Yeah. Nah, it was a good effort. There were a couple things sticking out from Longinus that was actually kind of working there, but in the end, LGD does come out on top.
FY, he's found himself No-Tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's No-Tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, he's not. There's 3 still dead on OG. It'll be a slow and painful death here for No-Tail as Zame comes in for the kill secure.
And I love the way that Chalice popped his BKB super early in that fight. He just knows, I just need to get my ulti off. And he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for the last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling, still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
I mean, yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage. He's one of the most damage in the game as an offlaner.
Now has full Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're going to struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Eric's did his best to keep Ana alive, and but Ana wasn't able to do damage because he was ruptured. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Seb here. Got to be careful who shows up top. Indeed, Jerax is going out on his own. He doesn't expect Zame to have this invis rune. And Zame will show himself. Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Somnus is not messing without rupturing there.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, we'll find X-Nova.
Seb, and as well. Between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY, so just playing around with Seb.
He has no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb's life miserable.
He's toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Ana is going to look towards the Tusk. The Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Ana, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of it? Ana's got a TP available. He's into the trees, he's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Ana, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG.LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious there, following Seb for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left, I would say, to capitalize on this Aegis. Oh man, looks like he is level 50.
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG.LGD 2-1 up at the moment in this best of 5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Crates. Right now, he just has the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage in these team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because Jerax doesn't want to be following around his Chen, giving him the Aghanim, so. As Thompson, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So that'll give him a little bit easier time to get those Blink Causes as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, I have Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for the Aegis to expire.
Seb, he's in, gets the call, the characters, but again FY, there with the snowball save. He's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The taunt's going to be out. Seb goes for the TP. They've got the stun to cancel though. Seb held back for now. Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson is running away. X-Nova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tail's coming in towards the shrine, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in the series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the Senton creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. He sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood bright silence connects. He's got the matchup back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. And X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. They're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not gonna have vision over here. But no, X-Nova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wars that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back here. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen as the mid-racks are exposed. PSG.LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of Rack. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're gonna keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG.LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Somnus. Seb taken down by Armin. The triple buybacks now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the three of them. Knocks them back, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Somnus. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the cold snap. The PL army's on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top rack. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already gone, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
I mean, look how close to Brew is at 25.
So close.
With that final split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball, he turns with the combo FY with the self-fuels, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail, FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I get the head for this team fight. The LGD are goal, but no blood take over 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. Grabs, they give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience, and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They'll back away.
They can't count. They bought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T30s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tail's praying for a Roche right now so they can get that refresher, but it's not going to be up. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right? It was up to a 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7. Same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG.LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an Aeon Discount Jeremy, so protected in O. DD did spawn, however, was killed.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X Blade Mail call if he finds it, especially with his BKB now. There's not that many ways to stop him.
So it's all about FY and Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks.
And the spike, it's going to be dispelled.
Let's get dispelled. But
He's in the trees. They're on the high ground. They've got the vision with the Shivas covered. Anna's on his way over. They've got the snowball down. There's the counterplay. Seb jumps in. He's able to find the call onto Challenge, but Challenge already got the BKB out. The Sunstride's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb pots the BKB. He'll try and stand his ground, but Seb, he's going to go down. No buyback on the axe. As Jerax as well, surrounded by PSG.LGD. The Eon disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
He has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom rune, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
Sienna still holding on to that buyback on Jerax. But as Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's backdoor. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting isn't enough to hold OG in the game.
You see No Tail's already running to just, he doesn't care. He's going to throw his life for this. He needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will. As they get upon him, they find his life. 1 minute now without No Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Anna, and Jerax. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jerax is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split of course up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Anna up in the skies. As this rack's on the top lane will fall, the melee rack's gone. PSG.LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana into the PL. Still able to shift back into that Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose their top racks, but they won't lose the game. PSG.LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to deward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roche fake out.
Check. Anna is on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Step's going to get the set. He's in. The call, the MP, the cannon, but FY is in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. But it's not enough. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis. Somnus looking to get involved. Pots the BKB to get over the ice roll. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's gone. The axe down once again for 90 seconds. There's now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. For the doppelganger to jump away from the snowball over to Thompson, the self-fuels, FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in, again, up into the air, Arme straight on top of No Tail, FY will fall, Arme looking towards No Tail pops the hand of God, but No Tail beaten down by Arme and Somnus. Chalice gets the primal split off as Anna, he's been left behind in Thompson, he's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo, can he find the angle, Jerax coming in, keeping Anna alive, Anna with the doppelganger, the deafening blast comes out onto the 2 of them, Anna trying to go in, looking for the kill, can he find it in time onto X-Nova, he's on top of him, trying to beat him down. Anna again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base. As X-Nova will survive. Jerax back in, the combo, meatball down onto Chalice, but Chalice is so tanky, Boss the Shiva's gone, he's on top of Jerax, Jerax is gone, Anna as well, can he really fight back against the Somnus, and X-Nova are so low. As the buyback for Jerax comes in, he's healing Anna back up, that buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova, the cold snap, down onto the Enchanter, they find him, he's out of mana, he's starting to shift into the strength, but he's surrounded, OG, can they find the ball? They can! OG are still in the game, Arme buys back immediately, but now it's PSG.LGD's turn to be without 2 of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jerax onto that shrine, being able to save Anna, but Anna also toying with them with that doppel. He sent the illusion, they thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's
Look at
really
this.
hard to kill.
Seb,
Yeah.
he's looking straight for the play. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting. Somnus, he's there, Seb. He'll see him. Oh! Doesn't get the call though, and now Seb. He'll be ruptured. They're looking at him, but Anna, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB, Anna again with the double guy. They see Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Anna will be able to force him away. They've got the hex. They've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice gone for 2 minutes. And Seb, he's finding, looking for Arme. Big Daddy No Tail gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion though. Arme able to waveform up to the high ground. As Arme should be fine here.
Thompson's got the ghost, so he's got Hex
maybe.
up soon too.
Oh, the doppelganger armies over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this?
No, he's got
Back.
Hex, a real one.
Goes for the waveform. Seb tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice, nice play from Arme.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead that PSG.LGD had, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment. With these last few fights, obviously the 25s now coming out on OG. Thompson's into the pit.
I don't think they expected to be taken.
Dire team ban. PSG.LGD's dire team ban. PSG.LGD's turn to ban.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here for game number 2 between PSG.LGD and Longinus. It is MLP Dota and Drone Expire, and we're here, of course, for the ESL One Birmingham online for the China region. John, we saw game 1. It was quite a dominant victory from the side of LGD. Game 2, Longinus, you mentioned they need to change some things up. Their draft choices were unique at the least. I wonder if we're going to see some big changes now.
I hope so, for their sake, that the draft does play a bit differently. LGD didn't really go with anything too flashy. Like, they had, well, the Ember Spirit's there for Longinus now, but they really rode off the back of Somnus's farm. And it was just not something Longinus could punish. So we'll see whether or not that shifts out here. But Longinus would first pick, do grab the Ember Spirit, as we tend to see a lot of teams do. And the Cottle's not banned out, the Grimstroke's not banned out. Those are solid options for Longinus to fall back into.
Yeah,
5 seconds.
absolutely could agree with that. I think, if anything, you probably want to go down the Cottle route, but already we see LGD. They'll go for the signature Nyx Assassin of LY. Excuse me, F. And, I mean, that Nyx Assassin's going to be a pain in the butt for that Ember Spirit, as we all know. And I mean, the Grimstroke Coddle, I still think it's worth going for, but that's going to be really, really easy to control here, as you already have that Nyx Assassin around.
Yeah.
Already
See you later, nerds.
pick up that Nyx.
Yeah, it's a lot of value because it also cancels out the potential Cottle. It's not going to have a good time against Nyx. You're going to have to think really hard about what you toss with that Ember. It also limits whatever might come down mid if it's not going to be the mid Ember, although it is likely to be mid Ember. I don't think Longinus is the kind of team to run the pause for Ember, although I believe they've run it in the off once, so they do have some flexibility with that. It's just, again, how effective you can be against an Nyx is up in the air. We'll see what LGD does kind of bring out here next. Draft is really open when you start with Nyx. Like, there's really not much you can combine. Maybe a Lifestealer if you want to go for the easy bombs, but they go with the Oracle next. So you've got your support duo out. You've got the burstiness in the Nyx, the control from the Nyx as well, and the sustain and even some damage control from the control from the Oracle. So the opening for LGD, I do like this coming out here. This also means with the Oracle on hand, Mike, they could go back to the Troll, or if they want to for some reason,
5 seconds.
at the end they could go for the Husker. And it's an Oracle, you know, you can't always forget the Husker, but LGD has a lot of opportunities with this draft now.
Well, they do. The Troll pick's definitely the big one. I think we can all agree on that. And LGD, I mean, we'll see if they do want to go for it. We know the Troll does tend to work quite well into the Ember as well. You wouldn't really blame them for going down that route, and at the very least this opening from LGD does force Longinus to have a bit of a think, and they do automatically go into that Prophet, which is somewhat of a counter towards that Troll, because you can disroute him during battle trance, and he can't actually do anything. So I guess it's one way to deal with the Troll Wallet if it is going to come out from LGD. Whether they go down that route completely is a completely different story in and of itself, though. Like, they've got other options. You've even still got the DP as well,
Remaining.
if you just wanted to run the Death Prophet. And that's a hero we've been seeing banned every single game so far. So, wouldn't surprise me if they did go down that route.
Yeah, it's a lot of combinations there for LGD. Like the DP, I think, is all right. I just get worried about the timing issue around the exorcism. That's something that can hurt you, but certainly a very viable option. Longinus with the NP, it's really darn good because now they have a really solid way of getting a push out. The supports don't wave clear well. Nyx and Oracle don't really melt creep waves fast. That's something the NP can punish. And of course, you've got the global rotation possibility now for Longinus. So you've got something that could back up your Ember, or just jump around lanes and find those early kills, playing into a bit of a faster draft for Longinus, which was one of the issues in Game 1. It didn't feel fast enough up against what LGD had. So it's the shakeup we're looking for sure.
PSG.LGD's dire team pick.
On the side of LGD, and the pick will be the Beastmaster.
Yeah, it's solid. It gives you that good control for a hero like the Ember. So you've got that great stun, although again, that wasn't going to be a major issue with the Nyx. But you've got even more solid control for that hero now. You've got great push potential. Beast can clear out the creep waves that the Nature's Prophet would be pumping out with the Treants. The Wild Axis can make short work of those creeps. So it's a solid hero in response of that. Of course, if you do go for the Troll, the Beastmaster can chop those trees down if you do get sprouted. So lots of options there for LGD. Great response. It's not going to be funky as well. We know for sure that this will be offlane. So we're not getting a weird shakeup where it's a support Beastmaster. Should be fairly straightforward for LG. As long as it does have maybe the option of picking something up like the Ench themselves, if they want to kind of scare the Beastmaster away from summoning the Boris. I don't think LGD would feel too bad about that, though.
Neither do I. You could definitely go down that route, but I really don't think they'll care. I think it's just better for Longinus to just stick with their own drafting ideals. And well, for now, you go into the Vengeful Spirit, and that's, again, a hero we've been seeing quite a lot as of late in that support role, doing a lot of good work. I think it can be quite effective as well into that Beastmaster, right? Because you get a raw target, the Venge can at least swap them out and give them a bit more time to try and survive through the raw. And overall, with the Nature's Prophet, the aura does help, right? Like, it's just nice to have the Venge around. It's always good.
Yeah, it's great. It gives you a way of getting some vision out as well. Beyond that, you don't really have the most synergy here. You do have at least solid lockdown now. Like, before the Venge came out, you only really had the chains in terms of canceling stuff. I love the response from LGD, though. They go straight for the Ursa. So Oracle Ursa can be very hard to burst this hero down for Longinus, and well, they don't really have a way of finding a disarm now. Like, the NP's there, the Venge is there, and yeah, NP can trap the Ursa up for sure, but again, you already have the Beast to chop those trees down. Longinus does pick up the tide for themselves, so they are looking for a bit more of a team fight oriented offlaner. You do get that there. Ursa can, I mean, there are ways for the Ursa to enjoy that fight. Like, Fury swipes will still stack up nicely, but the tide can still maintain its own farm in that lane, so it's a pretty solid lane for Longinus. They do have to maximize Ravage, right? Like, it's another long cooldown spell. You can't afford to just kind of sit there and farm when that's ready. You need to get with your team and find a pick-off. That's how you snowball with heroes like this.
My concern with the Tide, though, John, is we did see this, yes, from Longinus, right? Like, they were playing Tide up against the Monkey King. And that really didn't work out in their favor. The
Yeah.
Tide was just getting consistently punished and bullied out of that off lane. I don't know if it changes with an Ursa. Like, I understand he has more defensive capability with the Kraken Show and Anchor Smash, so he can kind of diffuse the Ursa if he does make the jump. But it still feels like one of those lane matchups that's just not going to favor him at all.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah,
I don't know about that Tide.
5 seconds remaining.
it's not the easiest time, but there is potency. I think depending on what lane partner you have, like if it's an NP Tide, maybe you can play around that early on. I don't know. The Longinus do have to shake it up. The key thing was last time as well, they didn't really maximize the Ravage. They really need to focus around that. Like, just keep fighting when you have it up. Even if you just kill the Oracle or the Nyx, you just need to build off of something instead of just playing the farming game. Because if you end up playing the farming game again, I mean, so far the Ursa, it looks like it can really overtake.
Yo, it's
Longinus.
I mean, I was gonna say, at least it's not another Medusa game.
Oh yeah.
Like at least this time, if you can kind of drag it out, they make it very clear on this. That's not the plan. They do go for the TA. Minus armor trap is kind of around with the TA, so that's nice.
10 seconds
Overall, I think this shot is much nicer from the side of Longinus as well.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's
Not gonna be able to contend with LGD though.
it's tricky. It's really tricky despite this kind of draft. Like, I like the minus armor, the Venge Templar. I think you're really missing the Slaughter in that equation though, and wow, the LGD still goes with the Monkey King anyway. So you don't really have the best ways of, say, burning through Refraction right now, but I don't think it's a very big issue for LGD. They've got solid team fight, really strong physical damage, and they can just eat through all of these heroes. The biggest thing for Longinus is ensure SS finds farm. Blink Desolator timing is going to be really important here. You have to be able to join your team, tear through the backline, take out the Oracle in the fights, and then you could maybe get damage out onto the Ursa Monkey. But it is sort of tricky. Like, LGD just has a lot more stable control, a lot more stable damage and farm timings. Longinus has a lot to prove, but they have to win, right? They have to win to go into game 3. So we'll see whether that hunger is going to be enough to drive them to the edge.
Yeah, not only just winning to get to game 3, but winning for the sake of getting their first win throughout these group stages. Thus far, they've unfortunately been losing every game, and they've had some hard opponents. RNG to LGD, it's never with those two. But this draft, they could definitely. I'm confident enough in this. I think it's still going to be a hard matchup, but we'll see how it all pans out. Or they go for the Monkey King into the. Is anything the doesn't believe in this? Well, he did it for about an hour or so. I guess we'll find out how it pans out for LGD. Show me two. Against an MK.
Yeah, it's not the toughest. Like, I guess it would take maybe like level 2 for you to be comfy. Monkey King can kind of use his superior range, which is funny because he's melee, but he can use that extended attack range he has to trade fairly nicely. Like TA, dude, how is TA ranged? 140 at level 1 with no side blades, dude. How is that ranged? Monkey King's 300. This is melee, like, and that's really where LGD can come on top. Like, Somnus play around with his melee attack advantage, and SS is gonna have to wait for 2 levels in side blades.
You see that chick jump down the mid lane?
Oh, that's funky. Ooh.
I didn't realize it actually went over the tree line. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they do that. It goes over the textures. It's very funky. Like, you see some peppers flying out.
Well, we have a chance to bring out the odds as
Oh, the odds.
there's actually no odds being offered on LGD. Only Longinus have odds being offered on them. And those odds have even gone higher than they were in first game, so there you have it. That's something I really haven't seen myself, John, but
No.
you could probably say LGD is the heavy favorite.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah.
For sure. It is that way. They're not even willing to take bets on LGD because you're not going to get a return. Like last game, what was it? 1.02, right, Mike? Barely a return.
Yeah.
So, Longinus has a lot to prove, Mike. And man, I am just so worried for SS down mid. Like, does go the side blades, of course, so you can twack the creeps, try to splash onto Somnus, but 300 range.
See you later, nerd.
No.
See you later, nerd.
300 range. Like, how is that fair?
It's not, John. And that's the trick. Nothing's really fair in Dota. You just gotta make it work, and well, at least he does get a nice creep block off, so does get that somewhat of an advantage for that first wave, but he does get 2 creeps denied off him straight away. Make it 3. Somnus not even trying to CS yet, just gets 3 denies. Allows TA to have 1 last hit. And now, underneath his own T1 tower, Somnus will have absolutely 0 problem. Just last hitting. And it's not just the range either, John. The fact that Somnus on that Monkey King can actually get a Quelling Blade,
Yeah.
you know, it's something that TA can't do, because
No.
she is a, you know, quote-unquote ranged hero.
Oh god, it's really painful for the TA. First 3 levels, Somnus should be able to maximize this. Once you hit 3 with 102 Sideblades, you do have a bit more range there. Like, not quite enough to be away from Somnus, but a little bit more breathing room at the very least.
It's a tough lane for SS. We'll have a look at the other lanes for a moment. Of course, up the top lane, we do have the safe lane time in place. They don't really want to have much up against Mercer, but Callus is there anyway. The F5 will be joining him. A great impel already from F5 on the nets. Just to ensure that Ursa doesn't take too much rat. And that is one thing for the side of Longinus right now. They are stronger earlier on with its finish tide. You got them Gunway with Terror. It's a lot of minus armor. Until that Ursa gets a few more levels up, you're really not going to see too much aggression out of the side of LGD.
Yeah, it does take a little bit of cooking there for the aggression to really come out. I think one thing with these lanes that are super weird, like Tide as the core up top is fine. You look at bot Mike, Moriarty is on the support Ember, and Piao is on what I assume is, you know, basically the +1 NP. So it's that odd roles once more coming out here for Longinus, and I know about this one. Like, you would want that early farm to be on to Moriarty, but Piao has been taking farm.
That's a +4 Ember, John. We're just gonna have to live with it. So we've seen it a couple times before, and it can do a little work, but at the same time, it can kind of do this when X-Nova could just chase him down easily. And as the +4 Ember, you don't have that much mobility, especially because your level takes so much to get. So he'll literally just keep chasing now, gets the foot and Purifying Flames. Bottom lane was where the first blood happened anyway. Old 11 found a solo kill to Piao on that Nature's Prophet. So now both heroes in the off lane are just dead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're expecting here. I don't think Old 11 doesn't really mind laning against Piao. Moriarty has to be a bit cautious with how far he goes.
Top lane now, Chalice funny on the Earth, so that's his first kill of the game, just straight onto that bench. That'll allow Chalice to really steal a lot more farm and XP in this little while. Especially considering he does have a double stack of Dire Creep Wave right. Expect him to hit that level 4 mark after this. Point as well, you don't really shut down the Ursa. It's that point where LGD can begin to get very, very aggressive in this Ursa, and you just can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's starting to be pretty bad. I think Longinus needs to play the same way. Perhaps start getting some jungle stacks, because the Tide can clear it out pretty well. You're not going to be finding too much in this lane. It just you just can't apply that same aggression. You don't have the durability without Kraken. You do have 1 level, but that's probably not going to be enough.
Well, they're going onto that Tide now, and you know, like you said, it doesn't seem like enough as those Fury swipes are starting to add up. Impel gonna be there as well. Meanwhile, X-Nova does die at the bot lane, but Old 11 found Piao. They do eventually get the Tide Hunter. Now Old 11 can be chased down. Dodo does make the rotation and get the magic missile off, but still do they have enough follow-up damage? Not quite. He'll just get to the T1 tower and salve up. They do at least with a great wave of terror coming out from Dodo.
Yeah.
It's like X-Noble being a something anyway.
Yeah, you are happy to find at least the support kill. I don't think you're still going to be too pleased with how this bot lane's good. They do lane swap. So the Tide does come bot, and I think this is a bit better. Piao can still kind of farm in comparison. Like, you're not going to be bullied out by Melee here at the very least. So there is a little bit more going on here for now for Longinus. Whether or not that's going to be enough is a different question. You do have SS jungling. So RTA has kind of found some farm. It's still behind Somnus. And mind you, that is with the jungle farm.
Oh, top lane. No, with that lane rotation, it doesn't pay off for him at all.
Oh.
Al's able to find another kill in the Ursa. Now bot lane, just chase onto old 11, but it looks like he may just get away. No, they're getting with the magic missile, but they'll lose their in the process. And now Nova might actually just find both of them. Yeah, he does. It's one of the strong things about that Oracle. Just so much damage at such a low mana cost. And ultimately, they try and TP into try at least get another support pick off for his team.
Oh,
it doesn't
SS?
pan out that way. Now top or mid lane, Somnus ends up finding the TA the help of FY on the next assassin.
Yeah, it's 9-2 at 6 minutes in, my 2k advantage for LGD. Longinus, they've got to really farm hard in SS. He's their win condition right now. They need the TA to have a fast blink Dezo somehow and kind of build off of the aggression you can get from that, but it's just so hard. Like, even their jungle is warded up already very deeply in, so you don't have the best spots to really farm safely.
Now Somnus just going to make a jump onto the Emperor. The chains will stop him. Haste Rune will also wear out, so Somnus may just make a rotation back into the mid lane to just keep his farm up. X-Nova there for a little bit, just soaking up XP on the Oracle. And in fact, they're going to rotate in FY again. Fortune's End to fly out. Does connect on the TA, but FY's in impale range, where he does have the brown boot, so he can break the gap quite quick. Doesn't bother going for it in the end, just leaves it be. I think they're just overall very happy as long as Somnus is just freely farming like this. And he's been jumping across the map anyway, but he's constantly just keeping up on top of the CS board as well. Now it's pointing out Piao, get the Primal Spring off with the Impale there from FY. Those Treants really aren't going to save you at all if you are this Treant. Does eventually end up going down, and the massacre from LGD will continue.
Yeah, not only are they losing out farm on their safe laner here for Longinus, they've completely left Chalice alone. Like, Chalice is having the freest time on the Ursa you could possibly hope for, and quite fitting for the Ursa with a very rare set as well.
More raw, the bot lane, they do commit on the Tide, but X-Nova will die anyway.
It's a 4-man rotation for a support kill. You will take what you can get, but again, you've left Chalice alone up top. You are buying space for SS. I guess that's the silver lining for Longinus, that they have given space for their TA to farm. They should try to push in this tier 1. Really important to start clawing away some control here. And they can get it done.
I agree with your sentiment. I probably should be forcing that T1 right now, but Old 11's actually playing well with 3 of them, and they are running away. They don't know who's behind him. Ironically enough, the only person there is going to be X-Nova, but they're going to lose the Ember anyway.
Oh, man. Yeah,
it's just the factor, right? Like, you just think to yourself, man, LGD must be right behind that Beastmaster. But they weren't. Somnus is playing with the D right now, diving a T1. Balance right on SS, but he gets a refraction off. FY coming in just in case. But LGD just continue playing around with this Monkey King, just jumping through the tree line, trying to find another target. And he went for that 3 Wraith Band build. So he does go for that very, very early kind of Wraith Band build where you can just kind of jump around the map and you don't need that Ursa, but it's almost like tricky. In fact, he does run into SS. Jumps into the tree again. F1 now, almost been involved in down low. Nice easy kill with the scouting of that Hawk. It's a killing spree now for Somnus. Well, Chalice is going to join him. He wants to get the party. SS, Fortune's End going to come out. They didn't have, or they did have us. Nobody knew that X-Novak we had apparently. Now the Raw comes on the TN. She'll die very, very quick. Ravage is beautiful onto 5, but where's the follow-up damage? It's not there.
Nah, it's a good attempt, but not quite enough. Ravage expended as well. Piao is 4 heroes for that defense. Longinus is starting to run out of space here. They just need to sit back, farm on TA, don't fight. 4K behind at 10 minutes in, considering that the highest farm they have in Longinus side is the Tide. You know, you don't even have as much farm on the TA. Just sit back, farm up. You're nowhere near a Desolator Blink, and you're going to need that if you want to get some burst on to these heroes.
The thing is, where can they farm though? Like, you've got a Beastmaster Monkey King and a Nyx Assassin all on the same team. Orcs, you've got monkeys jumping through trees, and you've got this bug running across the map like this. Finding Piao on that Nature's Prophet, he does use the Nature's Wrath before he dies at least, but he is gonna die. I just don't know where Longinus can hide now. Like, how do you find space to farm?
The safest spot would be that bot Radiant jungle. They did take the tier 1 there, so they could plant wards, just play in that area. They just can't get there, you know. LGD has spaced themselves out quite nicely that you literally can't even walk jungle. So because of that, they're playing under vision of LGD, which means they are always susceptible to rotations.
While this is happening, Challeng's just been taking tier 1 towers by himself. Every time the side of PSG.LGD is just fighting, he's just hitting a tier 1 tower. Doing what POS 1 does, just farm. Now top lane, Dominic going to be there with old 11, and just look at old 11, he's just running into them with his units, just no care in the world.
They can't do anything, they just walk back, they just can't fight.
Mid lane, 40%, be there onto Piao, and Chala's gonna be there on the Ursa, purge off the stun, he's gonna die on that Nature's Prophet, now the Ember just kind of flying through, that'll be the end of that. And
yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong in saying they need a farm. SS, he's getting close to a Blink Dagger, but his net worth is just right in the middle of the pack, and this is happening. F1 just found a solo kill onto Dodo.
I'm not so sure what long this can be. Like, they're just getting bled out everywhere.
Yeah, top lane. The Tide just farming.
Oh, no.
Ravage made it. If they might fight on 11, actually, and they do, but they will still lose the Tide. I guess it's not that bad of a trade, because it's not like they're actually going to use Ravage to initiate any team fights anytime soon for Longinus. Not with this farm. FY now going onto the TA. Jumping through the tree line, ready to go. Craft Spring be there. They do try to fight back with a Meld Strike, and Somnus as well as dropping low, but now has the Jingu Mastery. That means SS is going to now. Maybe he can start. Maybe FI denies that from him. Push the GG branch down as well.
What's the opposite of register?
That was Somnus with the GG branch. How rude of him.
Can't blame him for being confident though. Like there's very good reason to be confident here if you are LGD and Longinus. I mean, that was them trying to play in that bot jungle. That's them getting punished as well. The map is basically gone for right now, as it is. They are still putting up a fight though. They are still trying. It's just it's starting to grow really limited. Like, you look at Chalice. He switched out from the Basher into a
Battle Fury.
Yeah, a Fury for whatever reason. He switched out from the straight Abyssal. I know, because he wants to farm more, Mike. He wants that cleave. For the Treants. For the Treants. He was having issues with the Treants. He was spamming out Urchok. So this lets him farm the Treants without having to use Urchok.
Thank you for the analysis. Yeah, gonna get caught out in the Nature's Prophet. Thinking about who actually gets caught out with the magic missile, but false promise is going to be a nice swap from Toto, protecting the TA. Meanwhile, Chalice does the time at old 11, just fighting through the false promise. Won't actually be able to finish off that Nature's Prophet. X Nova. Actually, compliment the team in some sense, just trying to pump them up. So, 3-5 though with 7k worth on the side of LGD. That doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon at all.
Oh no.
But, yeah,
Yeah, nah. Oh.
let's run it away at least.
Yeah, see, if you had a Bashard there, he wouldn't have. You know, Chalice, like, you get to clear trains and camps, but that Ember will slip away.
On another note though, how often is it that you see an Earth farm credits stand up one Orb of Venom and Battle Fury before 15 minutes?
You don't. You never see that. And Chalice has had a freest game. He's gonna find a time.
Yeah. I mean, with that added damage he gets for that Battle Fury as well, it's actually pretty nice for these early team fights. Now he's going to just try and run with that range. They are going onto the bench on the high ground, or rather Xnova is, but they need help. There's that Ravage coming out. They'll connect onto two. Chalice is going to be forced to fight back now. Somnus with the Wukong's command will bind the tide. They do end up getting the Ursa, but they are going to lose everything else in the process.
打我呀！
Dodo
打我呀！
will also die. F1 will take that kill, denying the ultra kill away from Somnus.
我是一个没
If they
有
find
型的。
now, I'm going to be very upset at a fight. They do. He's underneath the sentry. This could have been a rampage for Somnus. He has been denied.
Oh,
How
FY.
dare you, sir?
Oh, FY. Just won't allow it, Mike. You gotta work for it. He's not gonna give you a kill. If he can take it, he takes it.
As every support should, John. No such thing as kill stills anymore.
Dyer's top tower has fallen.
Oh boy, like, it was big, right? They did find Chalice. That was a massive kill going away from Moriarty. The thing is, that's a support Ember you're giving gold to.
Look
You know,
at
and...
he just cancelled the TP of PL on the last millisecond and gets a courier on the way, and Somnus is there.
Offer no protection from me.
Yeah, it's, there you go. Yeah,
EFG, okay. GG.
17 minutes.
Alright.
17.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
gonna wait for the post-game analysis, but 17 minutes, you know, 17 minutes. 17!
See you later. Okay. He did. Snow.
John, FY, he's found himself no tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's no tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, there's 3 still dead on OG. It'll be a slow and painful death here if no tail. Azame comes in for the kill secure.
I love the way that Chalice popped his BKB super early in that fight. He just knows, I just need to get my ulti off, and he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for the last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling, still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
Yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage. One of the most damage in the game as an offlaner.
Now has full Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're gonna struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Eric's did his best to keep Ana alive, and but Ana wasn't able to do damage because he was ruptured. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Seb,
Oh, I'm his ninjas here.
got to be
Watch
careful who
Jerax.
shows up top. Indeed, Jerax. He's going out on his own. He doesn't expect Zame to have this invis rune. And Zame will show himself. Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Someone is not messing around rupturing.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, will fight Xnova.
Seb, in as well. Between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY, so
Yes.
just playing around with Seb.
There's no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb's life miserable.
He is toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed, FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Ana is going to look towards the Tusk. Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Ana, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of it? Ana's got a TP available. He's into the trees. He's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Ana, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG.LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious there, following Seb for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left, I would say, to capitalize on this Aegis. Oh man, looks like he is level the PL.
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG.LGD 2-1 up at the moment in this best of 5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Fakes. Right now, he just has the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage in these team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because Jerax doesn't want to be following around his Chen, giving him the Aghanim, so. As Thompson, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So that'll give him a little bit easier time to get those Blink Causos, as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, I have Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for the Aegis to expire.
Seb, he's in, gets the call, the character's going to get FY, there with the snowball save. He's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The taunt's going to be out. Seb goes for the TP. They've got the stun to cancel them. Seb held back for now. Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson, he's running away. X-Nova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tail's coming in towards the stride, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in this series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the Centon creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. Yeah, he sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood right silence connects. He's got the man to back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. You're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not going to have vision over here. But no, X-Nova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wars that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back it. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen. As the mid-racks are exposed, PSG.LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of racks. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're going to keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG.LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Somnus. Seb taken down by Armin. The triple buyback's now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the 3 of them. Knocks them back, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Somnus. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the cold snap. The PL army's on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top racks. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG. They have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already going, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
I mean, look how close to Brew is at 25. I mean,
So close.
With that primal split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball, he turns with the combo FY with the self-fuels, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail, FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I give a head for that with this team fight. The LGD are been gold, but no blood take up to 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. They give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience, and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They'll back away.
They can't count. They bought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T3s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No Tail's praying for a Roche right now so they can get that refresher, but it's not going to be up. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off of that, right?
Yep.
It was up to a 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7, same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG.LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an Aeon discount Jeremy, so protected in O. DD did spawn, however, was killed.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X Blade Mail call if he finds it, especially with his BKB now. There's not that many ways to stop him.
It's just all about FY and Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks.
And the spike, it's going to be dispelled.
Let's get dispelled. But it's
Ana, he's in the trees. They're on the high ground. They've got the vision with the Shiva's covered. Ana's on his way over. They've got the snowball down. There's the counterplay. Seb jumps in. He's able to find the call onto Chalice, but Chalice already got the BKB out. The Sunstride's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb pots the BKB. He'll try and stand his ground, but Seb, he's going to go down. No buyback on the axe. As Jarex as well, surrounded by PSG.LGD. The Eon Disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
He has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom route, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
Sienna still holding on to that buyback on Jarex. But as Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's backdoor. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting isn't enough to hold OG in the game.
You see No Tail's already running to just, he doesn't care. He's going to throw his life for this. So he needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will as they get upon him. They find his life. 1 minute now without No Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Ana, and Jarex. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jarex is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split of course up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Ana up in the skies. As this racks on the top lane will fall, the melee rack's gone. PSG.LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers. He's losing a fair bit of mana as the PL. Still able to shift back into that Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose their top racks, but they won't lose the game. PSG.LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to de-ward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roche fake out.
Ana is on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Step's going to get the set. He's in. The call, the EMP, the cannon, but FY is in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. But it's not enough. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova. Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis, Somnus looking to get involved, pause the BKB to get over the ice wall, they get on top of Seb, Seb's in trouble, Seb's gone! The axe down once again for 90 seconds. As now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. They've got the doppelganger to jump away from the snowball over to Thompson, the self-fuels, FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in, again, up into the air, Arme straight on top of Notel, FY will fall, Arme looking towards Notel, Notel pops the hand of God, but Notel beaten down by Arme and Somnus, Chalice gets the primal split off as Anna, he's been left behind in Thompson, he's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo, can he find the angle, Jarek's coming in, keeping Anna alive, Anna with the doppelganger, the deafening blast comes out onto the two of them, Anna trying to go in, looking for the kill, can he find it in time onto X-Nova, he's on top of him, trying to beat him down, Anna again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base, as X-Nova will survive, Jarek's back in, the combo, meatball down onto Chalice, but Chalice is so tanky, Monster Chief is gone, he's on top of Jarek, Jarek's is gone, Anna as well, can he really fight back against the Somnus, and X-Nova is so low, as the buyback for Jarek's comes in, he's healing Anna back up, that buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova, the cold snap, down onto the injunction, they find him, he's out of mana, he's starting to shift into the strength, but he's surrounded, OG, can they find them off? They can! OG are still in the game, Arme buys back immediately, but now it's PSG.LGD's turn to be without two of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jarex onto that shrine, being able to save Ana, but Ana also toying with them with that doppel. He sent the illusion, they thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's really hard to kill him.
Seb,
Yeah.
he's looking straight for the play. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting. Somnus, he's there, Seb. He'll see him. Oh, doesn't get the call though, and now Seb. He'll be ruptured. They're looking at him, but Anna, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB, Anna again with the double guy. They see Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Anna will be able to force him away. They've got the hex. They've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice got for 2 minutes. And Seb, he's finding, looking for Arme. Big Daddy Notel gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion though. Arme able to waveform up to the high ground. As Arme should be fine here.
Thompson's got the ghost strike, he's got hex
Maybe.
up soon too.
Oh, the doppelganger Arme's over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this? He's back.
Real one.
Goes for the waveform. Seb tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice play from Arme.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead that PSG.LGD had, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment with these last few fights. Obviously the 25 is now coming out on OG. Thompson's into the pit.
What a timely DD coming out for him too. I don't think they expected to be taken out as fast. He's almost able to solo it with the help of these summons. And that's a refresher shot. There's no way they get this. There's no way LGD can.
Oh, and the Seb level 25 too. That extra Berserker's Call AoE. It catches people out. They don't expect it.
It does not feel like OG T-Rex now.
Yeah. The Berserker's Call now is, I mean, the AoE
It's
is
massive.
really massive now when you have that talent.
It's so hard to play against. Can PSG.LGD do it? They've got the Basher now for Somnus. For just a 2K lead with those last big comeback plays from OG. Still 30 seconds without Chalice.
Double Hex coming out now. Thompson and these 5-second BKBs. Yeah, I mean, they were crushing with their BKBs.
Being spotted out.
Got the vision. They're on top of him. Thompson, he's in trouble. The Nullify comes out, but he got the Ghost Walk off as well as the Hex in time. Now, Somnus turns up. The blood runs down. Thompson! He's dead for 100. Has got the buyback available. PSG.LGD will certainly look to force it out of them.
FY, just what a shadow blade. It just, yeah, as soon as they split up, he finds the perfect opportunity there on Thompson.
You got to be careful going out on the map when FY's alive. There's every chance in the world that he's going to be watching you from the trees.
And at this point, I think for Ame, it's actually going to be very worth it for him to actually just try and burn all the mana from the Phantom Lancer so he can't doppelganger all the time. That's causing a huge issue in the team fights. And I see that Chalice is using his Dispel Magic every single cooldown on these Phantom Lancer illusions, but there's still way too many that are causing havoc in these team fights.
it's too constant. Like that double cooldown being 3 seconds just allows him to always be able to play around a little bit around the brew. They don't really have this crazy AoE when you look at LGD's lineup to just clear out those illusions. It's really a lot based off them just trickling them down slowly with like the Shivas and the Radiants and knowing exactly which one it is.
Yep, he doesn't have the crit talent, but now he does have crit from that Bloodthorn coming out.
It's a lot of damage that Anna can offer to the fights now.
And Brewmaster without BKB, very vulnerable. Cold Snap, Bloodthorn, Berserker's Call, there's a lot of ways that they can prevent him from getting that ult.
He just commits it from the back, just to be careful.
Make sure that he can get it off and get some damage in onto the tier 3s. Anna's going to start to try and fight against these Primal Split Brewlings. He'll be able to find one of them. He has been silenced. He'll take down the Wind Panda 2 as well by the looks of it. There's only the Earth Panda prevails. Seb jumps, he gets the call onto the Panda, popping the BKB as well, so they won't kill the Brewlings off. They do force PSG.LGD away long enough that Thompson does not have to expend his buyback. Thompson back in the game.
And then they're utilizing the PL very well too, by replicating him and sending illusions to get some extra damage on the tower. It's just one Rex left that's holding LGD away from Mega Creeps.
And they're straight out. They're ready with the aggressive play, OG. Thompson, can he find a catch? He's close to having vision onto X-Nova.
Should be able to find X-Nova. He is stalking him. He got sights of him for a second. He was a bit far away though.
Oh, the tornado. It's got him. Thompson drops the combo down upon him. The stun comes out though. Oh, the counterplay. Jarek's in there though with the heal, the tether. Keeping Thompson alive with the Abyssal Blade down. Candace here with the hand of God comes through. Thompson still alive, but Chalice gets the primal split out. He's been stunned. Thompson, the cheese, he's fine. Thompson, he goes down. They get the kill onto the Evoker. No tail. Being chased by Arme. The bash is coming through, but the Blade Mail was already out from Seb. He tries to get the call off. The bash of the Cataclysm isn't enough to find the kills. Anna leading forward. The Bloodthorn onto FY. Gets the kill onto FY. FY bites back straight away. Anna looking more Somnus again. The doppelganger. Arme on top of Thompson. Thompson being saved by Jarek. Jarek with the tether. Arme turns into a Gemma. There's the call. Seb, he catches Arme. Arme dead for 2 minutes. The Hex. They've got Somnus as well. Oh, gee. Double kill for Seb. The clutch buybacks coming into play. Nobody has a buyback available right now. As OG stand with 5 alive on the map, 100 seconds without the Morphling.
This double talent is just destroying LGD. They have no way to actually find Ana. Like Ben said, the Brewmaster's constantly using the Dispel, but it's so hard to find the PL amongst all these illusions in all this chaos of the fights with tornadoes and chaos meters and everything falling all over the place.
And look at this. The tier 3 tower falling. Ana frontlining it all. What's he scared of? The Blood Bride will come out. Chalice with the Shiva's Guard trying to initiate. But Ana, he's poking, prodding, beating down, and on the side, Thompson jumps in. Chalice gets in with the BKB with the call. Seb, he's got the disable on the Chalice. Do they have the damage? They got on top of the Chalice. He's into the snowball. FY buying time for him, but now he's vulnerable. He's gets Hex. He gets Bloodthorn. Chalice buys back. Ana trying to find his attention onto X-Nova. Chalice leading forward. The Tornado going to be off the market. Only catches out the Bloodseeker, but Seb, he's looking for the follow. Jumps in, gets the call. The BKB was out in time. The Bananas on top of it. Did they have the damage? Seb's got the blade on FY.
Okay.
With the snowball again. Thompson, Jarex focusing the racks. Thompson gets the Hex up onto X-Nova. Seb healed up by Jarex. Anna still full health at the moment as the Brewlings are pushed back to the base. OG get the bottom melee racks. As still 30 seconds to play without the Morphling in the game. They move towards the mid lane. OG, can they really get it all here? The mid racks falling.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're back for our second series of the night. This one will be between CDEC and IG for ESL One Birmingham Online. For the Chinese region, it is MLP Dota and John Expired. John, a new series upon us, sir. How are you feeling for this one?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling pretty darn excited. CDEC went off to a pretty good start yesterday, going 2-1 up against eHome, and IG as well. In their match up against SAG, did go 2-1 as well. So both teams are starting off on the right foot for the group stages so far, but one of them will have to take a loss now. We'll see who does bring their A game here, and should be a bit interesting to see as well. Like, both teams are in pretty good form so far. Yeah.
Feel like we saw them just a bit ago in another tournament.
Yeah, they did play in Dota Pit Online. They played in DPL-CDA and the China Pro League Season 2. Out of those 3 series, IG has won 2 of them. So 2 out of 3 going the way of IG. But the most recent series, which was the China Pro League Season 2, that did go CDEC. So last time they ran
casting.
We were casting DPL-CDA. I don't remember the Pro League, to be frank with you. Like, I don't quite recall, Mike. I'm a bit iffy in the memory now. I remember DPL-CDA. Like, that's the last one.
Regardless, the most recent one, CDEC ended up winning out, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, well that's all we need to know. So IG going up against CDEC. The draft has begun. Queen of Pain, Earthshaker going to be the start here for IG. And this is... it's the second or third time we've seen this. Teams choosing Earthshaker into the Rubik.
Yeah, it can work against you, but I think a lot of the time it's just confidence. Like they know how much they can get out of the Shaker. They know the value of the hero, what they can get done with it. So I don't blame IG for going into it. They do have a couple of great players. JT is the one that comes into my mind. You know, his Shaker is fantastic, but Kaka plays a really solid Shaker as well. So you have that going for you if you want to change up the role. It's the Queen of Pain is an interesting choice this early. You don't tend to see the first pick Quap. It's usually always Ember or DK for the flex. Queen of Pain can be flexed. It's just not as common as those two, but you do have that option for IG. Of course, if they do still run it mid, Emo is fantastic. Queen of Pain player anyway. So you give yourself that fast scaling mid hero that comes online quickly. CDEC, the abandoned Rubik is looking a bit different. Like you don't tend to see the Abaddon too often. The Rubik has been fairly common, and it does have great laning presence, great team fight, especially with a Shaker Quap here. It's just the Abaddon in this case is not as common. You more than likely will see it as a core in the off. I think that's where we've seen it when it does get picked up. The support Abaddon has really tapered off. So you get yourself a stable offlaner that can't really be bullied out. Can be rather annoying to deal with for IG, so the best thing you can do is just kind of try to ignore it if you can, but it does bring a lot of sustain for your team from that offlane position, so that is something CDEC does have for themselves.
Seconds remaining.
That Abaddon, like, if you do allow to get levels in it,
Remaining.
it'd be a pain. You just can't kill him off. He just stays alive all the time. And always in the front lines, the curse of the Venus off, being frustrating, even speeding up pushes with the curse of the Venus. It does work on ours, of course, so we'll see. They'll go into the park now. We've seen XM play this quite a lot to great success, so I'm not too shocked to see this flying out from CDEC. Obviously, it works very well into the Queen of Pain as well, just not really allowing her to get out of that Dream Coil very easily.
Yeah, it's a solid pick, and that was, I think, game one where CDEC did manage to snag that for XM. Just played a fantastic puck game. Great team fight for yourself here. Gives you great control. I would want to see what they build off of that puck. You have a lot of options to go for, especially in supports, but IG does. And we did just see this hero come out. It is highly effective if you can just kind of not get kited around. Right now, CDEC, they have a couple of options to kite the Ursa. Puck is a hard target to jump. Rubik can lift you, but beyond that, not much. The Abaddon, I guess, could try to slow you. You don't really want to man fight the Ursa, though, to continuously apply that slow. Ursa will kind of enjoy that until the ult is popped. So there is a little bit of leeway here for IG to have their Ursa just run around and cause some chaos.
I mean, the Dream Coil may be a bit frustrating to deal with for the Ursa, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, CDEC, they do go into a Mars pick, which, unless some kind of safety Mars I'm about to watch, or even a mid Mars, I believe, does force the Abaddon into the support role, which you talked about it, John. We don't get to see the support Abaddon much anymore for good reason. Turns out CDEC disagree. You do want to run the support.
Yeah, that's a rather interesting choice. Like, the Mars puck is solid. Like, Dream Coil and the Arena, you either force them to try to break the coil to get out of Arena before it drops, or they just stay in the Arena. Yeah, so you've got some weird synergy there. It can kind of work against you. Like, if they're stuck in the coil in a good spot and outside the Arena walls, well, they're probably not going to care too much. But this does give CDEC that great team fight. IG do immediately respond with TA, so we're going to see more than likely the off-lane Queen of Pain here. And actually, no. Is it going to be... No, it could be the support Queen of Pain. I think IG's done that with Haka on hero, so that might be what they're looking for in the end. It's up in the air, like either off-lane or pause 4, but the TA down mid up against the puck. That's a lane I think TA does. It doesn't enjoy the initial levels. Of course, level 1 to 3 is pretty tough for TA, but once you get 3 and up, you can start to find those last hits, dip into the jungle, get some good farm, and with the Ursa, IG is looking to play pretty darn fast. Like, the Ursa doesn't take too much farm, TA doesn't as well, as long as you find a Blink Dezo. And they look to want to fight as soon as those items are up on both heroes.
Bit rough. I am still a bit concerned though about this this draft choice here from IG with this. If it is a support quap, then you're forcing the Earthshaker to go as a POS 5. I mean, he can do that, but
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know if this draft might be a little bit too greedy from IG.
5 seconds remaining.
I suppose they can always just secure a POS 5 in their last pickup now and just not really reveal anything to CDEC up until that point, and that may be the plan. It just brings me a little bit of concern for IG if they are going to run a POS 5 Earthshaker, because it does really want to get to that point where it gets a blink up and can actually start initiating for his team. I'm sure it won't be the case. I'm sure they will just go ahead and take a POS 5 now for IG, rather than mid-TA, the safe lane Ursa, and just have the off-lane Queen of Pain, which really doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, offlane quap is pretty solid. I don't think there's anything in particular they have to cover for this draft anyway. Like, the last pick for them to counteract any of these 4 heroes, nothing in mind. You've already got the burst magic damage from Queen of Pain. You've got great physical with the Ursa TA. There's not many surprises to pull out left. They do close with a lion.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Hey, look, you know, if you are going to play aggressive with a fast Ursa TA, Lion helps you burst them down faster. So as long as you play around the 6 of the Lion, like the moment you hit 6 on what I believe to be Ollies here in this case, hit 6, smoke up, finger someone down, and how you build up. You have to really maximize that finger though. Otherwise, Lion still gives you great stuns. You have to worry about Abaddon kind of taking them out though, but it's you can make it work. You can make it work for sure.
I guess it's not against the puck as well, right? Because now you have that instant hex. So you can maybe have some decent cat there for the puck. Still for the troll warlord, so a nice solid ending for there after. With these two drafts, it should be a rather explosive kind of game we're seeing, as neither one really wants to sit back and farm too long. So I like what we're seeing here from both sides.
Yeah, it's it's JT's off shaker, so it's still support all the quap that we're seeing here.
I prefer that to a POS 5 Earthshaker anyway. So
yeah, no, but it would have been like still a POS 4 with a Lion, surely. Like, it would still take farm priority there, so I guess it gets even more priority now, so it's going to be a very fast blink for JT, or at least that is what you'd like to see here.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm just happy to see an interesting draft from both teams, and it should be very, very between these two. You mentioned the stats earlier, but they have been kind of back and forth over the past few weeks, past month, and it's been rather even with both of them do look to be on top of the game going into this series. See how it all pans. See if the battle pass changes everything, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see if either team has that TI-10 loading screen equipped versus screen. It's a must. I say if you don't have it, then I judge you. Yeah, there you go. I judge. No,
it's getting judged.
Nah, they don't have it equipped. Equipped at SRF. You've got it anyway. There you go. JT has it on. That's what you like. Boom. There you go.
Where did he go? Where's JT going?
Fly disappeared too. Love that screen. And we're in game. So there it is. Drafts are done. It's gonna be interesting to see just how much JT. Why does JT have a shared tango right now?
Oh,
interesting.
Okay. I mean,
actually, where did that? Okay, so someone bought like 2 sets and passed all of it to Emo and JT. Okay.
Emo's got the TA torn as well. That's see, that one is direct BM, right? Like if you get a nice deny off, or Like that is, if I was spamming TA right now, or if I was playing TA, I would just spam them constantly.
Oh yeah.
Like that would drive someone nuts. In fact,
this is not good.
gonna run straight into 5 heroes. There's a stun JT with the Fisher follow up, but a nice Aphotic shield, and
themselves.
Come on.
Oh no.
In a straight line, boys, 1 by 1. Can't all just group up like that.
Oops, that's a bit of a whoops. JT didn't manage to get the block, and they miss out on first blood. They're still gonna go for it though. They're not gonna stop.
I like it. Keep it fun. They do jump onto Victoria, and he'll turn around, and now Kaka, first one to die, and someone got first blood. It just wasn't IG.
The battle.
No, John, I think it's probably about that time I show some game odds as well from G. The screen.
Yep.
It is looking to be the favorites in this matchup.
Yeah, I think that's just down to, again, the historic matchup result. The most recent one so far does play a big factor in that, so it is slightly favored for them as they did take that last matchup, but it is already a good start, right? They found first blood. IG forcing that movement up the high ground, like after committing so many resources already. That was super optimistic to want that to happen still. We are going to see the Ursa and Queen of Pain lane up against Tri lane.
Oh, Ollie, no. He doesn't have Blink.
Yeah,
John.
no.
He got blocked.
Oh.
Yeah, you're dead.
No.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
It's great plays from CDEC, John. They're just running little kinds of strats that you wouldn't really expect early on. I wasn't expecting a from CDEC either, but obviously it's working out quite nicely. And well, SRF, he might have a bit of a tough time on that Mars, but ultimately should be okay in the end.
Yeah, you really don't mind sacking the Mars and living like this. You just force the Ursa to have such a hard time. That's the end. You already fly TP out, so they don't want this there. They make a bit of a tri-lane of their own down bot.
Okay. That's sometimes tri-lane versus tri-lane, but they're going to make SRF suffer quite a lot here on the Mars. They just died the T1 Kaka. That is a lot of damage you're taking from that T1 tower. He'll be alright, he'll walk away, but now a Fish is going to be there from JT. Fly. Yeah, this tri-lane doesn't really work out too well. It seems a bit weak in comparison to what CDEC was doing, and we're now with Victoria there on the add-on to support SRF. You're never really going to find this kill, as you can just purge off any stun you throw out, and CDEC will now bring in their own form of a trial lane. In fact, they'll TP SRF back up to the top lane now. Arme will join the spot lane up against Fly. And ultimately, I don't think this is the laning stage that IP wanted to start with. And they may have to just run. Yeah, Fly, he's just going to run up to the top lane again.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a lot of time waste. He is missing out on a wave or two now in terms of farm. Not the best start for IG, even down mid. XM up against Emo. It's fairly even for now, but you do reach that level 3 mark on Emo, so just a bit easier to apply his own harass. But you're not going to be seeing too many kill ups here, so you're probably not going to get a huge advantage on Emo. He should focus on perhaps getting some stacks for himself as the game goes on to give himself that advantage.
We see a lot of these lane swaps as well, where they just kind of run up through the map, but it feels like it puts your team too far behind doing this. Now you've got SRF level 3, Fly's still sitting at 2. You've missed at least 1 creep wave, but more than likely, you know, sitting at 2 creep waves now that you've missed, if you are Fly. If CDEC really wanted to, they could just swap again. I mean, I suppose Fly has the advantage in some sense that he has his TP available, but I don't know. I don't know if it gets any better anyway as the Ursa now. You're still playing up against the Mars who can just speed you away. I think CDEC are going to have a really nice time in this laning stage.
They wasted a lot of time. I think that's the key thing. Like, you look at the last hits of Fly, we mentioned him missing a wave or two. He's at 6 last hits. Compare that to the 16 for Troll. Ame is most certainly having that early farm advantage. Even SRF is a fair bit ahead. So Fly has his work cut out for him in terms of applying that farm.
Kaka now going to be chased down by Victoria. Just a lot of rotations happening across the map. XM now even showing up. They're just trying to secure that boundary power route at the bot root spot, but it's actually up at top. But he can just orb away and go and pick it up anyway. Oh, nice juke out on the stun. Kaka could not get it off. Meanwhile, Victoria is actually bullying out Emo. This is your mid-TA being bullied by a support Abaddon.
Not a great sign, but Chris Favernus can be annoying, and again, Emo doesn't have the best range so far. They did manage to waste a lot of time. This, in the end, does benefit CDEC. Like, their side lanes are just so much more stable without the supports that you do find a little bit more, although JT has a bit of an EXP advantage, but not enough to worry Ami. Ami's still perfectly fine farming this situation.
Well, on the troll, you're just focused on farm anyway, right? Like, it's not like the Earthshaker is really going to be able to kill you by himself. But Ame just keep freely farming up, and JT, he's going to go for a pull now. Victoria's going to follow him all the way. In fact, never mind, he'll just kind of back off, but that was at that 5-minute boundary rune spot, so perhaps feeling like there was some help away from JT. Truth was there. JT will get away with the pull as well as both those money runes. Top lane, however, Ollie falling quite low. James falling even lower though on the Rubik, and he should get down. SRF still wanting to try onto Kaka, but Kaka will salve up right in front of him, and now with the Earth Spike just securing him down. SRF does have a spear available. Will actually turn around, cancelling that salve off Kaka, but now SRF, can you keep fighting? Well, you definitely can if Victoria's there. The support Abaddon. He's actually doing quite a bit of work already.
Yeah, Victoria's presence has most certainly benefited CDEC in a lot of these engagements. The thing is with SRF, for the most part, like, it's just so little damage when he's facing the right way. Like, you saw the Earth get, what, 3 right clicks off with his swipes, and it did nothing. So it's just so much harder when you get the Abaddon on top as well with the shield. Just too much durability on the Smart. It makes it a lot harder for IG to find that lane pickoff.
They're really trying to, like, Flyfly is trying to apply a lot of pressure into SRF. Oh, they jump in now with the Shadow Strike as well. Flyfly, they're just going to turn around. SRF's taking so much damage off the Sursa. With this support, Queen of Pain as well, she doesn't really offer too much apart from that Shadow Strike. And it's not really doing much in the way of forcing anyone out. Maybe at the late levels, you might find her being a bit more useful, but for now, Flyfly is really struggling on this Ursa, and there's no help coming. Still stuck on 16 last hits.
It's a huge deficit when you compare that to even SRF, but you compare that to Ame, it's not even close. Ame's had 44-8 in his own lane. There has to be a lot of catching up here for IG, but on the bright side, Emo is not quite suffering. Yeah, it's fairly close to that puck. Of course, he does have to dip into the jungle to maximize that, but as long as Emo has a decent time farming up, then you can still find some room to breed.
It is going to be on the back of Emo's shoulders this game, it seems. Ready. Try his absolute best to gain as much of an advantage as he can. XM is well, at that point now, he's at level 7, so he can start making his own rotations with that Dream Coil. It is very, very strong in these early stages of the game.
Oh,
big ultimate top lane, Flyfly, caught in the arena. It was just too easy.
Level 4, SRF's. What can you really expect? Ollie wasn't around. It's just that easy for CDEC at this point.
And they're trying to give him solo XP as well. It's not like Flyfly is not getting some XP there. It's just they're pushing him so far back. Even up against the tri-lane, the Mars, even with the tri-lane, the Mars is out-leveling the Ursa. Flyfly, we talked about this this very, very kind of bad start where he had to run back up towards the top lane, and now, well, he gets speared up again. Immediately this time they're TPing in to try and help out. SRF, does he get out in time? He does not. Kaka will be there with the Hex, and they will punish SRF. But that was a 4-hero rotation for that.
Yeah, it frees up the side lanes. JT now to target down bot.
Does have Echo. Ame not going to care for that though. Gets the slow off.
Is under attack.
Has the battle trance if he really wants it. There will be a lift. I don't think he's even going to pop it. Maybe he has to now. You really do want this kill on
That's
JT. Yeah, he's gonna die.
Yeah. That was one of the important things for IG as well. That farm on JT to get that blink. He was given free lane. He does have power treads, but it's really down to the blink timing of that Shaker, and it's not been as smooth for our Shaker compared to Emo. Like, there has been a little bit more congestion for JT, but he's still up there. Number 2 in effort. Still a nice pick off for CDEC. And IG need to find a way to give a little bit more space out. There's just so much jungle space you can give out. Like, Emo's already eating a lot of it, and it's hard for Fly to find those safer spots in the jungle because Emo's there.
Very, very tough for IG. And the draft doesn't scale well late game either. Like, they do tend to... Both drafts drop off quite a bit. But I'd say the control does go better than the Mercedes would.
Is under attack.
Rough. Bot lane. Might over the outposts for a second, but there's the dream coil there, not willing to give it up, and now Arme just runs in. He has the battle trance, so he feels very, very safe doing this. JT gonna try and run away. XM, he's gonna make the chase onto Kaka. Not really much lockdown after the dream coil though, so they won't be able to secure either kill. But it seems as though they're just happy with the outpost not being stolen away by IG. Now to top lane, Fly gonna try and make a jump onto SRF, but we kind of talked about that. If you do try onto this mask, he's just gonna steer you away like this. He'll try again now with Ollie jumping in. Arena is up, SRF, he will pop. He's getting low in ranges there from Fly, but now Arme gonna come in. Again, Battle Prats is available, but he doesn't need it. He will secure the Ursa kill. And we'll just go back to farming on the top lane. In fact, he may just choose to pressure that top tier 1.
Yeah, this is a perfect time for it. You take the Ursa out as well, so you trade the off lane for the safe laner. Still a better time for CDEC.
And they did end up committing the Echo, just to be able to really secure the kill on the Abaddon. I think JT, in his mind, probably just thought, I'm not going to be using this Echo anytime soon anyway, so I may as well just use it before the Abaddon starts doing his shenanigans to stay alive. Well, top lane, Arme can do a bit of chip damage while he can. Does have this H creep there as well. Ollie will be around, but hasn't hit that 6 mark yet, so it doesn't really have the Sonic Wave to really force his way back. And make matters worse, James actually has stolen the Scream, so he can actually force the Dire creep wave back. And yeah, they're definitely just going to secure that tier 1. IG will do the same thing down at the bot lane.
Bottom tower is under attack.
It's a decent trade. They are giving themselves equal control on the map, and they might be able to find Victoria. They don't really have any way of gap closing, so that is a bit of an issue. And they
easy kill. Exit. I mean, just get rid of the Dream Coil. Ollie was there in the mid lane, and they just say, screw it, it's a free kill. And, well, now they look to try and pressure that T1 mid tower, and that's a big one. In all honesty, I don't know if IG can actually try and defend this.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. They do have finger up on Kaka, so they have some burst potential if they want to commit.
Well, for now, it'll be JT's presence will be enough to force them back. Can't forget as well, like, this is buying Arme all the space in the world on that troll, who is actually going for a Battle Fury, so realizing that he will be able to outscale the draft of IG, just feels like the Battle Fury is the right way to go this game. And for I'd say I can't actually disagree with the troll Battle Fury build. I think it's actually quite nice here.
Is under attack.
Yeah, it's,
try Victoria, but he just borrowed times, walks away.
yeah, it's a bit preemptive just to ensure that the finger is not going to burst right through, which is easy at this point. So a bit of wasted time there from IG. That was their smoke as well. They really want to maximize that finger. We talked about that in draft. Really important for them to play around that tempo. Haven't really maximized it yet.
No, they haven't. Just chilling back. CDEC's finding so many items in the meantime. Like, you've got a Vladimir's offering that's going to be coming out on Victoria. So they're just going to snowball off of that. Like, Dream Kaka mid lane, they found Kaka, it's just such an easy kill. They can find an huge kill on IG, but they just don't have the lockdown yet. You're still waiting on JT to finish that blink off as well. So IG just don't have any options.
Yeah, it's fairly close for JT though. Once you have that up, you should be ready to go in these fights. He's going to be key in setting up the initiation for IG. Expect a smoke in about maybe 2 to 3 minutes when he has the gold up.
I don't think he has a choice. He's going to make something happen to the team right now because it's going downhill real quick. Looks like SRF is going for his own Blink Dagger on the Mars, so you're going to have that initiation there from CDEC. Battle Fury also on the way for Arme. Now that's really going to escalate his farm as if it wasn't already good enough.
Yeah, it's just to make it so much harder to play that farming game that you mentioned. You know, Troll does scale a lot nicer here, and he's just going to scale that much faster as well, though they do catch SRF.
They try to. He's pretty tanky. Sonic Wave Finger, everything being committed. James stole the finger.
Oh.
Okay, that's a nice one.
Oh boy, yeah, that's scary. James doesn't get punched as well, so next time he shows up, it's gonna be the drive-by. The finger and fade bolt, that could actually just burst the support out. Yeah, that's enough to burst Kaka out.
On the bright side for IG, at least they did find the kill on SRF. It's gonna feel nice just getting some kills on the board, and it is buying more space for Fly, right? Like now he does have the Vanguard up. He's gonna be feeling a little bit tankier going into these early engagements, and it's just a slight bit more survivability. In fact, IG feeling so good, they'll smoke up with that blink on JT now. They love to pick up Echo, and there's the Echo to start things off with the stun as well. Is it enough, XM? It will be in the end. The Enchant Totem Strike from JT proved to be enough damage. In fact, he dealt quite a lot of damage, and it seems as CDEC want to try and return the favor here with their own smoke. Of course, they'd love to go on to Emo, get that pretty much equal trade here on the mid laners and SRF. You've got to throw that arena out, so if you want this. Perhaps a bit of miscommunication. They don't actually engage, and Emo saw them in time.
A bit of a wasted op for CDEC. They would have really loved that. It's down to the fact that if you're not starting with XM, you can't get that good jump in.
John, have you seen the quick buy menu of Emo right now?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who needs a blink?
Okay. Yeah. It allows them to play around that aggression with the traps. I think it's an interesting second buy, but I guess JT's just going to start these fights anyway.
Oh, there's a finger from James. Ollie ends up dying. Now Victoria going to be chased down here. He does get the pro time off, but Earth Spike going to be there to stun him up, and the speed does not connect, and nor does the Earth Spike from James. The Fly going to keep up the chase, feeling confident, but they don't realize Arme's around the area. Or maybe they do and they just don't care. Place a deep ward down, and that'll be the end of that IG. They're feeling confident now. It seems as though they want to try and make some plays happen.
Yeah, they've hit their stride. They are starting to come online. Again, the key thing is that JT can't set up for them. So they really are just trying to maximize that. I think when you do itemize like this in Emo, it does tell you want to go fast.
XM getting onto JT. That's the off-lane Earthshaker, and he's not a very tanky man, the Earthshaker. Not yet anyway, and he does go down very, very quickly.
Yeah, it did take the arena out. So you're not going to have that option, but it's not the longest cooldown in Emo now.
Brian. Ollie gonna be there on the Queen of Pain. Sonic Wave will secure that kill and exit. Can you lock them down long enough? They should be able to find this wall. That stolen Sonic Wave will do the work, but James now needs to run. They will help, but no. Finger is there from Kaka to secure the kill. Now Fly gonna try and manfight Arme, but that is not a good idea. He will enrage and jump up the cliff. And still, it was a bit of a positive trade there for IG. They got a 2-for-1. Once again, killing off SRF on that Mars. In fact, they're going for more now. Fly. Lots to find XM. Earth Spike will not connect. JT, can you get the fish? No. Couldn't time it perfectly.
And it's a bit of a mistake. Started out with Spike instead of the instant Hex. You might have wanted to lead with the line. It is pretty tricky though. Like, Puck is just super slippery. So not the easiest target to jump still. IG starting to pull ahead. Less than 1k lead now for CDEC. If they find it's going Ame.
pretty big one. JT's in there with the Echo as well. Earth spiking out from Carl to about Battle Trance. He will get it off. Still, I don't think he'll be able to lifesteal that much. He's trying, however. In fact, never mind. He's lifestealing a lot. Fly. No, that was too early, sir. Now the arena from onto Kark Messarena does get the kill. Oh, and how the tables turned so quick.
Oh, yeah, it's unfortunate for IG, but CDC claw back that lead, and a lot of that is on Ame. So Ame now ready to apply a lot more pressure, is pushing at that tier 2. IG need to wait for a couple of items more. Like maybe if they had a basher up, they could have gotten that final control on the troll, but it's not up yet on Fly, so they need to wait for that item to come in. Emo is about to finish up that Ags. So the control on the map and the mobility of this TA will shoot up by quite a fair bit. And that is going to be important to have Emo on hand. You need the TA's damage.
In all honesty, I honestly thought Emo would just cancel that off and go for a blink. I didn't think he was actually going to go through with the ads.
Yeah.
What? Is it actually going to work though? Like, seen this before? Like, I mean...
We've seen
become
it.
a ninja.
Yeah.
You're quite literally a ninja once you've got the Ags up.
You know what's funny? It was Emo last time as well. Legitimately, the first time the Ags got changed to this, it was Emo who actually built this. I remember that like last year. Yeah, I remember Emo. It was Emo, exactly. He had to blink first though. It was like a 4th item pickup. But he decides to go for it early, and there it is.
Okay. So what's the game plan now? How does this... I mean, obviously with the Ags, you can now TP to your traps. But how are they going to make this work? Goes to that trap. I guess he has that global, like he has global presence now in a sense.
Yeah. So I think there is potency. He needs to drop a lot more out and play around it. But if you can get the jump on a couple of heroes, it's super easy for the TA to pick off individual heroes. So they're really banking off of CDEC maybe roaming around too aggressively and not taking out those traps and building off of that.
Like the side of CDEC will overtake this dire triangle as they do get the tier 1 bot tower as well. Now Ame says, hey, I'm strong enough, I've got an agent, let's go for a tier 2 tower. It'll be glyphed, but that may actually open up the tier 3. Ame is not even moving, he's just going straight at that tower. I actually would not blame them at all for trying to go for a high ground push, knowing that glyph is down. But they will play a bit more conservatively for now.
Yeah, you've got a couple of things on IG now, like Fly does finish up the Basher. So he's just one step away from finishing up the Abyssal. That's going to be a big thing for Fly to have. Allows him to gap close and get the stuns off. Perhaps finding those kills they've been looking for. Beyond that, you know, CDC is just happy enough to play in this triangle area. They take another tier 2. That's the entire map closed out now. No outer towers left for IG. So it's at this point where CDC can completely take over that dire side and shut down farm.
Fly just gonna stick around at that top lane and see if he can just continue forcing in this wave. Still having a rough time in terms of net worth on this Ursa, but he's trying his best and he's caught up rather decently. Almost has the Abyssal up. I think once the Abyssal Blade is there, then you definitely have some kill potential here on this Ursa. But for now, it's back to farming your own jungle, Fly, or maybe even the next wave. So Emo will be there to join him anyway, and I say that he will go down to the bot lane now. It's actually getting quite hard to keep track of where Emo is on the TA because it just plays a ward and just disappears somewhere else. Ollie will break the smoke of Victoria, and they do scout him out, but of course he can just blink away. Oh, close call. SRF tried, but does miss Ollie in that Roshan pit, and he does get the TP.
Yeah, it's not the biggest spell to commit. Again, it's a fairly short cool. But this does give IG a ton of space to farm. You mentioned Emo just freely farming up, and he certainly is. Working his way towards that BKB. Once that's up, you don't really have anything from CDEC to control the TA beyond a couple of lucky routes. You have to be a bit careful with that, as Emo is just camping for a kill now.
Structures are fortified.
I don't mind that. Chilling out. And there he goes again. XM. Meanwhile, finding Kaka. Kaka dying up at that top lane. XM just claiming a very quick kill for himself. James was around the area as well. Bot lane, who have they found there? It is actually going to be the Earthshaker JT getting caught out now. He does Fisher, he has Echo, but there's going to be no point in committing, and it's just a nice easy kill for the side of CDEC. And well, this actually gives Arme his full Satanic, which is actually on the courier on the way right now. This is that point now where the troll, can you deal with him? Like, he doesn't have a BKB. I don't think he needs one, because his main going to be the TA Ursa anyway. But I just don't know if you can do with Arme anymore.
It gets really hard. You have to sort of isolate the Ursa, or maybe pick off the Abaddon first. That's going to be key. Like, the only thing that messes up their control is the Abaddon. So you have to make sure Victoria's gone or taken care of before jumping on that Ursa. And that's assuming IG makes the moves here. They have not been the aggressors in a while.
They do lose the Aegis on Arme, so it's one positive. Courier gonna get taken out for Fly, but that'll at least give him the vision, knowledge that they are around the area. Kaka, he's gonna TP out, and Fly will do the exact same, but XM with that orb. Oh, he got the Dream Call off. He got the long TP because Kaka TP'd first. That is very unfortunate. And Fly, he's just gonna get the short end of the stick every time. You always let your pos once TP first, John. Never let the never let your supports TP first. This is why.
Nope.
Emo, bot lane, we'll just melt. We'll just hide for now, and he's out of there. Back up to the top lane. Actually, in some weird way, the thing with this TA Ags is it seems as though he's just going to keep the side lanes pushed in constantly for CDEC, and just never allow them to feel safe to actually make a push happen.
Yeah, he's been rather persistent for that, like just cutting waves and getting some farm for himself. So overall, CDEC has not managed to even consider the high ground just yet. Right? Like, they have this pretty good lead, substantial lead. They've got great items on Ame, and they just can't commit. They keep trying to chase down Emo, but Emo just channels away.
Straight back to the fountain. That psionic projection, as they call it, is the cooldown might be a little bit too just constant TPing across the map, but Emo's kind of showing us how this Ags on TA could be considered broken in some sense. In the right circumstance, it just seems really powerful.
It is. It's taking a lot of time away from CDEC. So you do have catch-up farm in play, and they smoke up. They want to get something done now.
Yeah, but they run into Victoria. That's not how they want to start. Victoria does get the borrowed time off in time, and now XM. Who are you going on? Dream Call on both support from the back, but that Fisher isn't allowing any kind of follow-up. The Dream Call already expended, leads nothing, and Fly now enraging in the middle of an arena. He'll be okay. Echo is there from JT with the Sonic Wave. They do find SRF, but can they deal with the troll? Arme, he doesn't seem to want to fight right now, but he has great turn potential with that trance with the Satanic. They're just waiting for the right opportunity, or maybe they're not, as James will also die, and CDEC is on the run. Fly's still on the chase here. He doesn't have the Abyssal right now. Can't really close the gap, but they are not stopping IG. They just keep going. Can they actually get anyone though? Fly has the sort of 2 seconds. It will be on to Arme. Arme will again just man fight this as he knows he should be able to survive. JT, however, jumps in. Now XM with the double silence. Arme still fighting Fly, who is dying very quick now, but the Abyssal comes off. But still, the Earthskin is going to die. Now the battle trance, but an immediate Hex will make sure he can't get anything off. Ollie also TPing it, or blinking out of there on the Queen of Pain. But Kaka loses his life on the Lion. And that chase ended up essentially giving CDEC a very even team fight in the end. It's a lot of gold going to the way of CDEC and just an overly excited side of IG. Just not knowing when to stop.
They couldn't really back up Fly when he jumped Ame. That's the big thing. Like, he jumped in, he got control. They were not there to do damage.
Got him. Top lane, Sal's going to be there as well. And he doesn't have his BKB available this time. James, the mill strike. Now, that's a big one. That's the one person keeping all these lanes shoved in so consistently, and they finally catch him out. In fact, JT trying to do the same thing, also getting caught out at the bot lane.
Yeah, it's a lot of kills going the way of CDEC now from some pretty aggressive positioning from IG. This will cost them a bit. There's not quite enough for CDEC to go into the high ground. And Roche is still respawning, so they're not going to lose out on objectives, but they do kind of miss out that swing they had earlier on, so their progression has kind of halted once more. They have to finish up a couple of items before they start going again. You do have a Crystallis coming out onto Emo, so there's going to be a lot more damage on that TA, and Fly is working towards his BKB. So once those items are up, perhaps will have enough to dig right through CDEC, but while that's down, of course, CDEC is confident enough to go high ground.
And that they will. We haven't even seen the Satanic being used yet by Ame. Hasn't had a need for it. And that tier 3 gonna easily go down. Emo spend his buyback gold. He's gonna respawn in a few seconds anyway. But Firefly may have to jump in very, very soon. In fact, they just determined it's best to back off here. They don't want to deal with Emo right now. That's fine. And see, they're going to be just satisfied with the tier 3.
Yeah.
Oh, Emo. Yeah, the axe can work against you too, John. The BKB going to be there, but there's the bash. And eventually, Emo, third spike will save, and he will actually get out of there.
What?
Debated twice.
That channel time is ridiculous.
It's too low. It's 1 second.
Can someone tell me why when I map over it says cooldown 30, but it's actual cooldown 15? Valve? What is that?
That is true. Why is that?
Because Valve. Volvo, please.
But it's literally unplayable. I can't play the game like this.
Oh god. Oh, that's alright.
They do find SRF again. Every team being thrown. SRF is still alive throughout all this. They really want this kill. He spears the Ursa away. Now the arena won't really catch anyone, but they can start the team fight. IG on the run, but XM is right behind. But nice bash coming out from Fly. Still, they do get the dream call off, and Fly should just die. In fact, there's an Abyssal now on Ame as well, so he makes the jump on the back, gets Karka to boot. Oh, Karka. That's an interesting buyback.
Yeah, they can't give away the Roche. Yeah, nah, they can't give it. They need the line with a stun. That's your best control beyond JT getting a big slam, but they don't want to commit JT that hard. Better to throw the line first.
And you fight this though. Roshan's half HP, they have time. You just expended so many ultis trying to kill SRF. They do have some nice fish there with the traps. JT still has the echo. Ame feeling confident to run up the hill. There's going to be a lift there on the campaign. He gets speared to a tree. Now XN is there to clean up. They have Dream Call again in 5 seconds, by the way. So this team very well goes away, CDEC, but there'll be a buyback from Ollie. Now JT jumping straight on top of XM, and they do secure the puck kill. A big one. Fly though, trying to jump up the cliff, but not really getting there. He's still trying to run away with the spike legs, but no. He gets trapped up and he does die. That's a dieback on the Ursa. Now an arena coming out, trapping JT and Karka up. XM will buy back. Ollie trying to jump in there, but that's probably not the greatest idea. Still trying to fight SRF, but he just won't die. Ame coming in now with Victoria, and there's another dream call there from XM, catching Ollie on that Queen of Pain. That's going to be the second dieback.
Ooh. Third.
Make it a 3. Karka also dies to James. And throw down.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
gonna go
no.
down. Can't go. When you've got
That's
two
it.
heroes that just die, they just all die like that.
Yeah.
So
Whew, IG. They tried. It was a bit back and forth. There were moments where IG looked good. Just didn't work out. I think, we'll get in.
FY, he's found himself no tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's no tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, he's not. There's 3 still dead on OG. It'll be a slow and painful death here if we don't tail. As Arme comes in for the kill secure.
I love the way that Chalice popped his BKB super early in that fight. He just knows, I just need to get my ulti off, and he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for the last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling, still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
I mean, yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage. One of the most damage in the game as an offlaner.
Now has full Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're going to struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Eric's did his best to keep Ana alive, but Ana wasn't able to do damage because he was ruptured. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Seb.
Oh, I'm just going to this here.
Got to be
Watch
careful who
Jerax.
shows up top. Indeed, Jerax is going out on his own. He doesn't expect Arme to have this invis rune. As Arme will show himself, Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Somnus is not messing without rupturing.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, we'll find X-Nova.
Seb, and as well, between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY, so
Yes.
just playing around with Seb.
He has no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb's life miserable.
He's toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed, FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Ana is going to look towards the Tusk. Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Ana, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of here? Ana's got a TP available. He's into the trees, he's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Ana, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG.LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious there, following Seb for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left, I would say, to capitalize on this Aegis. Oh man, looks like he is level the PL.
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG.LGD 2-1 up at the moment in this best of 5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Creeks. Right now, he just has the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage in these team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because Jerax doesn't want to be following around his Chen, giving him the agony. So. As Thompson, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So that'll give him a little bit easier time to get those blink calls as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, I have Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for the Aegis to expire.
Seb, he's in, gets the call, the character's going to get FY, there with the snowball save, he's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The taunt's going to be out, Seb goes for the TP, they've got the stun to cancel though. Seb held back for now, Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson, he's running away. X-Nova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tail's coming in towards the shrine, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in the series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the Senton creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. Yeah, he sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood bright silence connects. He's got the man to back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. I mean, X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. You're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not going to have vision over here. But no, X-Nova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wards that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back here. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen. As the mid-racks are exposed, PSG.LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of Rack. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're going to keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG.LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Somnus. Seb taken down by Arme. The triple buybacks now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the three of them. Knocks them back, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Somnus. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the cold snap. The PLR is on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top rack. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already going, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
I mean, look how close to Brew is at 25. I mean,
So close.
With that primal split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball, he turns with the combo FY with the self-fuels, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail, FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I give a head for that. This team fight. The LGD are goal, but no blood take up to 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. Grabs it. They give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience, and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They'll back away.
They can't they bought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T30s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tail's praying for a Roche right now so they can get that refresher, but it's not going to be out. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right? It was up to a 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7, same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG.LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an Aeon disc on Jeremy, so protected in O. DD did spawn, however, was killed.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X Blade Mail call if he finds it, especially with his BKB now. There's not that many ways to stop him.
So it's all about FY and Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks.
And the spark, it's going to be dispelled.
Let's get dispelled. But
He's in the trees. They're on the high ground. They've got the vision with the Shivas covered. Anna's on his way over. They've got the snowball down. There's the counterplay. Seb jumps in. He's able to find the call onto Challenge, but Challenge already got the BKB out. The Sunstrike's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb posts the BKB. He'll try and stand his ground, but Seb, he's going to go down. No buyback on the axe. As Jerax as well, surrounded by PSG.LGD. The Eon disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
He has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom rune, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
Sienna still holding on to that buyback on Jerax. But as Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's backdoor. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting isn't enough to hold OG in the game.
You see No Tail's already running to just, he doesn't care. He's going to throw his life for this. He needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will as they get upon him. They find his life. 1 minute now without No Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Anna, and Jerax. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jerax is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split of course up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Anna up in the skies. As this rack's on the top lane will fall, the melee rack's gone. PSG.LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana into the PL. Still able to shift back into their Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose their top racks, but they won't lose the game. PSG.LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to de-ward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roach fake out.
Check Anna, he's on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Seb's going to get the set. He's in. The call, the MP, the cannon, and FY is in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis. Somnus looking to get involved. Pods the BKB to get over the ice roll. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's gone. The axe down once again for 90 seconds. There's now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. They've got the doppelganger to jump away from the snowball. The snowball over to Thompson. The self-fuels. FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in. Again, up into the air. Arme straight on top of No Tail. FY will fall. Arme looking towards No Tail. No Tail pops the hand of God, but No Tail beat it down by Arme and Somnus. Chalice gets the primal split off as Anna. He's been left behind in Thompson. He's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo. Can he find the angle? Jerax coming in, keeping Anna alive. Anna with the doppelganger. The deafening blast comes out onto the 2 of them. Anna trying to go in, looking for the kill. Can he find it in time onto X-Nova? He's on top of him, trying to beat him down. Anna again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base. As X-Nova will survive. Jerax back in, the combo. Meatball down onto Chalice, but Chalice is so tanky. Pops the Shiva's gone. He's on top of Jerax. Jerax is gone. Anna as well. Can he really fight back against the Somnus, and X-Nova is so low? As the buyback for Jerax comes in, he's healing Anna back up. That buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova. The cold snap down onto the attraction. They find him. Arme, he's out of mana. He's starting to shift into the strength, but he's surrounded. OG, can they find the block? They can! OG are still in the game. Arme buys back immediately. But now it's PSG.LGD's turn to be without 2 of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jerax onto that shrine, being able to save Anna, but Anna also toying with them with that doppel. He sent the illusion. They thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's
Look at this.
really hard to kill.
Seb,
Yeah.
he's looking straight for the play. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting. Somnus, he's there, Seb. He'll see him. Oh! Doesn't get the call though, and now Seb. He'll be ruptured. They're looking at him, but Anna, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB. Anna again with the double guard. They see Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Anna will be able to force him away. They've got the hex. They've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice got for 2 minutes. And Seb, he's finding, looking for Arme. Big Daddy No Tail gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion though. Arme able to waveform up to the high ground. As Arme should be fine here.
Thompson's got the ghost, so he's got Hex
maybe.
up soon too.
Oh, the doppelganger armies over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this?
No,
Back.
it's a real one.
Goes for the waveform. Seb tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice, nice play from Arme.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead that PSG.LGD had, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment. With these last few fights, obviously the 25 is now coming out on OG. Thompson's into the pit.
What a timely DD coming out for him too. I don't think they expected to be taken down this fast. He's almost able to solo it with the help of these summons. And that's a refreshing shot. There's no way to get this. There's no way LGD can.
Oh, and the Seb level 25 too. That extra Berserker's Call AoE. It catches people out. They don't expect it.
It does not feel like OG Q-Rex that.
Yeah. The Berserker's Call now is, I mean, the AoE is
massive.
really massive now when you have that talent.
It's so hard to play against. Can PSG.LGD do it? They've got the Basher now for Somnus. For just a 2K lead with those last big comeback plays from OG. Still 30 seconds without Chalice.
Double Hex coming out now. Thompson and these 5-second BKBs. Yeah, I mean, they were rushing with their BKBs.
Thompson's being spotted out.
He's got the vision. They're on top of him. Thompson, he's in trouble. The Nullify comes out, but he got the Ghost Walk off as well as the Hex in time. Now, Somnus turns out, the blood runs down. Thompson! He's dead for 100. Has got the buyback available. PSG.LGD will certainly look to force it out of them.
FY just with a shadow blade. It just, yeah, as soon as they split up, he finds the perfect opportunity there on Thompson.
You got to be careful going out on the map when FY's alive. There's every chance in the world that he's going to be watching you from the trees.
And at this point, I think for Ame, it's actually going to be very worth it for him to actually just try and burn all the mana from the Phantom Lancer, so we can't doppelganger all the time. That's causing a huge issue in the team fights. And I see that Chalice is using his Dispel Magic every single cooldown on these Phantom Lancer illusions, but there's still way too many that are causing havoc in this team.
It's too constant. Like that double cooldown being 3 seconds just allows him to always be able to play around a little bit around the brew. They don't really have like this crazy AoE when you look at LGD's lineup to just clear out those illusions. It's really a lot based off them just trickling them down slowly with like the Shivas and the Radiants and knowing exactly which one it is.
Yep, he doesn't have the crit talent, but now he does have crit from that Bloodthorn coming out.
It's a lot of damage that Anna can offer to the fights now.
And Brewmaster without BKB, very vulnerable. Cold Snap, Bloodthorn, Berserker's Call. There's a lot of ways that they can prevent him from getting that ult.
He just commits it from the back, just to be careful.
Make sure that he can get it off and get some damage in onto the tier 3s. Anna's going to start to try and fight against these Primal Split Brewlings. He'll be able to find one of them. He has been silenced. He'll take down the Wind Panda 2 as well by the looks of it. There's only the Earth Panda prevails. Seb jumps and he gets the call onto the Panda, popping the BKB as well, so they won't kill the Brewlings off. They do force PSG.LGD away long enough that Thompson does not have to expend his buyback. Thompson back in the game.
And then they're utilizing the PL very well too, by replicating him, sending illusions to get some extra damage on the tower. It's just one Rax left that's holding LGD away from Mega Creeps.
And they're straight out. They're ready with the aggressive play, OG. Thompson, can he find a catch? It's close to having vision onto X-Nova.
Should be able to find X-Nova. He is stalking him. He got sights of him for a second. He's a bit far away though.
Oh, the tornado. It's got him. Thompson drops the combo down upon him. The stance comes out though. Oh, the counter play. Jackson there though with the heal, the tether.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Seconds. Radiant team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're finally back for game number 2 between CDEC and IG for ESL One Birmingham online for the Chinese region. It is MLP Dota and John Expired, and we saw game 1. CDEC it wasn't necessarily a dominant victory, but they were in control pretty much the whole way. Game 2, IG probably going to switch up this draft a bit, and as it stands, they already have. They go for the first pick Mars.
Yeah, it's not the most common first pick anymore. Like, we have gone past the point where Mars is first pick, but we saw a spectacular performance last game, so I do like that IG is deciding to use it themselves. We'll see whether or not that will change it. Gives you great team fight, and with this kind of opening, it allows you to draft certain heroes in as well. For example, the Phoenix is an option a lot of teams go to with the Mars. Snapfire is a solid choice as well, so we'll see what exactly IG opts to take with that Mars, but CC used this opportunity to grab the pop and follow up with a shaker. So they want to give that a shot. They open up the that in that manner themselves. It feels like a bit of a mirror of game 1 with a sides flip, Mike.
Yeah, it's a weird one. The co-op Earthmaker opens. Not something you're too used to seeing, but apparently both sides were winning this kind of draft.
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe the side will change things a little bit, like CDEC. So, in all fairness, that draft was being run on Dire's side, so maybe they're going to make a bit of a difference here for the side of CDEC. Or maybe they just won't run the support point of pain, but IG, they switch things up quite a bit now, going for that Mirana pickup.
Yeah, I like the Mirana. It is something IG's run a couple of times to great effect. So it's something they have confidence in. Of course, it is pretty dominant in lane. At the very least, it will find its EXP, so it's hard to shut down the Mirana for a prolonged time, and Moonlight Shadow will allow IG to play aggressively around that. So they've got options to take these fights, solid ways of starting these fights, and is going to help them maybe push that aggression a bit earlier. We saw IG played a stall game with Emo, especially with his build, so they were just stalling the game out a bit, trying to find farm. It wasn't enough, so this time they might look to play aggressive, and they are certainly giving themselves the heroes to get that done. Interesting enough that CDEC bans out the Puck, so it looks like they don't want to give XM that hero. He does play it fantastically, but they don't have the Mars Puck combo themselves. So I guess they just want to take it off IG's hands.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
guess the park with the Mars Mirana can be pretty strong. That Rainbow really just setting it for both the arrow and the arena. CDEC. Now, but they will respond with the Lich, so a natural counter on towards the Mars arena. Just getting that Frost Shield down can be very frustrating for the Mars, because you can't really burst anyone down once that shield is there. Overall, just a great pulse 5 to have, and that kind of reveals that this Queen of Pain will actually be a core Queen of Pain.
Yeah, for the most part, that ought to be a core. Whether or not it goes to SRF or XM is a different question. A lot of room still to play with your lanes here, and IG does pick up the Oracle for themselves. So you have the option of perhaps going towards that troll this time for IG, and a solid support duo with the Oracle, Mirana. Sustain from the Oracle, great root. Their stuns, though, aren't the most reliable, so you will be looking for perhaps the Spear or Arrow to land to set yourself up, and the response from CDEC is great. Phantom Lancer coming out, like, yeah, sure, God's Rebuke can work through PL, but he's so slippery here. You just don't have that instantaneous control to keep that PL in its place.
Interesting. The mask, it does concern me a little bit, right? Because you have that God's Rebuke. It does tend to clear out the illusions of the PL pretty quick. Even the Starfall of the Mirana can be quite frustrating for that PL to deal with. Right? IG going for a very safe pick in the form of the DK. In my experience, John, the DK does pretty well against the PL, because you just tend to do no damage to the DK after he's lost.
Yeah, it's issue of timing, really. So CDEC, there's a long time where the PL's not going to get that damage out. But if they end up giving Ame that free game again, where we can just farm up, focus on building his item, wait for him to come out ready to go with maybe a Diffusal Manta Butterfly or Diffusal Manta Hearts, then it gets super hard to deal with. Like, again, the Duke is nice, The Starfall, it's nice, but the Phantom Lancer does have ways of dodging that out, especially when Doppelganger's on a much lower cooldown. So it is manageable in some sense for the PL. The key thing is you just don't have the best lockdown. As long as you space those illusions out properly, you are going to be harder pressed to find a real PL. So that's something IG has to be very disciplined about. Maybe if they apply that early pressure onto Ami, don't allow him free game. Game 1, we did see his troll find a bit too much. So you don't want that to happen again. Just keep track of that PL. Ward up his jungle. Keep trying to deny that farm out. And this trap can... DK doesn't take much. Mars doesn't take much. They can play aggressive fairly early on.
Speaking of that troll, John, there is an Oracle in this game. IG have the chance to go for that safe lane troll and just run the mid DK. Doesn't necessarily do that badly up against the Queen of Pain. CDEC seem to believe that the mid pick coming here for IG, and they banned out the Leshrac, which naturally is a direct counter towards the PL. I don't know though, there is still the option. Like, I would not really doubt IG in picking up that troll and just put the DK mid.
Yeah, it's pretty. It is certainly still an option. Again, it's just so potent when you have that Oracle. The issue is tossing that against a PL can, in the long run, can be a bit iffy. Like, a lot of people like to point out Battle Fury. It's really, like, honestly, it's not the best thing against PL. Like, you need great wave clear. You need great AoE, which Mars and Mirana and to a certain extent DK can give. I do think you want to actually prioritize damage on Mars this game, just to get that clear on the PL. It's just super risky. Like, you go clear the illusions, yeah, he comes back in, has more illusions, and burns through your mana, then so you're out of God's Rebuke. So you're just standing there. Yeah, it'll take a while for Mars to die. It's just... You're just standing there, buying time, and Troll doesn't really help in that case. Would have been nice if they had access to something like the Ember, but that was banned out. More solid choices. I think if you want a Void Spirit's nice with the Ags, but they do go to Monkey instead. So there is the combination of the Mars now. Wukong's Arena is super strong, really potent. Monkey doesn't take too much to come online, and it gives you some way of helping identify that real PL. So IG's draft is looking a lot faster. It looks pretty set to have an answer to the PL. As long as they play their draft a bit faster, don't give it any breathing room, they should be able to bring a really good fight to CDEC.
Yep, they should be able to. CDEC, one more pick for themselves now. It still seems as though they're missing an off-lane pick here on CDEC. Assuming that Quap is going to be mid, but I guess you could throw it in the off if you really want to. Unless we're going to see this offlane Earthshaker, which I don't think it's the way to go. But
nah,
you never know, John. It happened in game 1 IG.
It's like getting farm on the Shaker is nice, but he doesn't need much. It's just blink. That's it. You don't need more. You would want something that can make use of that space a lot more, and the space going forward as well. A bit more scalability there. I don't know if they really do want to go with that mid pop again against a DK. That's pretty okay. They could still pick an offlaner, which it's just you normally do want to pocket that last, but there's just no issue with Queen Fane. It's just so solid. They could look for, if it is the offlane they're looking for, maybe something that allows them to get up again. Fights the Centaur is decent here. They go to bat for the single target control. So that's one way to kind of burn through the durability on the DK and Mars as well, right? Like you have a way of eating through their high physical resist. You have a way of burning out the Monkey King as well. Like, you chop his free if you're fast enough with a blink, and that's an easy disable on fly. So there's that to be about from IG. CDC, they still look like they have a much more solid draft, but IG does look better than game 1.
I would definitely agree with that. I do like this draft from IG a lot more than their last draft. Whether it's going to be enough, though, to take down CDEC, who looked to be even heavier of favorites going into this game too, is another question entirely, and that's something we're about to find out very, very soon. Overall, I could admit I'm kind of leaning more towards that CDEC draft now that Batrider is there. I just think it really closes off the draft quite nicely for CDEC, but it could be a very, very even game between these two in all honesty. Like, it could go either way. I don't know. That Monkey King though just scares me a little bit, you know? If you have a bad start with Monkey King, it just seems to never recover.
Yeah.
That's my concern for IG.
It's super tempo dependent, and honestly it doesn't scale like a PL would into the late game. So there's a tight timing where the Monkey King's really strong. Don't want to miss out on that if you're IG. They can get it done though. And there we go. They have the TI-10 screen. They are looking a lot better. I like that.
But why does Ollie keep disappearing?
He doesn't want to be there, Mike. You know, he's the pos 5. He doesn't want the attention. You know, it's like just wants to get his job done. That's it.
Prepare for
I suppose so. I don't think he has a choice about it, John. He's got to be here. I don't know.
You know, one thing
he's done. Yeah.
One thing with IG, when they give emo something like the DK, it's not a very emo hero. You know, it doesn't quite suit his playstyle. Like emo is much more comfy on like flash heroes like the Storm, the TA. Like, I'm sure you can get a solid job done on the TK, but it feels like you're not maximizing that finesse he does have for those much more slippery heroes. You know, it's like you're missing out on that utility you could get from your mid.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I think we've actually had this conversation before as well. In another game where I chose emo DK, and we said the exact same thing. Why the DK? And well, DK is very strong right now, but I agree it's not really his type of hero. He's more of a flashy player, emo. Very mechanically gifted.
Yeah,
but
surprising they didn't opt for any of the spirits. Like Void Spirit was still in the pool, Storm was in the pool. Not much really to lock those down. Although,
regardless, game will start. Like he won't really try to contest those top bounty runes, and that'll mean 3 bounty runes. We'll have this. We'll go to the way of CDEC, so that's how the game will begin. Slight gold boost for them to get them started. I think all eyes are really going to be here onto Fly on that Monkey King, because last game around, you know, we can all admit he didn't have the greatest game, arguably because of those early rotations he had to make. He had to walk up to that top lane once he TP'd down bot, just missed a couple waves and just really never recovered. It is still very difficult into a Batrider though. Like the turn rate on Monkey King is already kind of bad, and then you've got this Batrider who's going to slow it down even more. And you've got James there with the Fisher. I don't know if Flatline is going to be able to farm very well in this lane.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy time. You do have Ollie to kind of bail you out and purge you off if ever it gets a bit dicey. But it's not going to be too hard for SRF to at least find that farm. So it's still a bit of a struggle for Fly. Fortunately enough, the magic stick helps massively. So he's going to have some burst heal on hand.
Right. Well, there's that Fortune's End coming in from Ollie just to get those sticky napalm charges off. We'll have a look at the mid lane as well. Of course, XM going to be there up against Emo. XM really wanting to apply that pressure right now while he has a chance, and that Dragon Blood is only going to be sitting at level 1. So really just abusing the Shadow Strike damage, and as I look away, top lane SRF does find the first blood on Fly.
Yeah, you know, it's like you hit level 2, you've got Firefly, Sticky Napalm. There's only so many times you can spam out the Fortune's End to purge off. So it's pretty easy for SRF in these lower levels. Fly, I think, is going to have to wait for like level 3 for some opportunity to trade back.
In bot lane as well, we have a chance. You'll see Victoria just chasing Kaka right now, doing a lot of damage over to that Mirana. Of course, farming JT is going to be up against Arme on that PL. It really shouldn't be the easiest matchup in the world for Arme either, and he's already out of region completely on this PL. But overall, it's definitely not going to be as bad as the top lane for IG. Like, that Batrider is going to have a lot more influence over the Monkey King than JT on the Mars is going to have over Ame.
Yeah, it is already a lot more farm for Ame, and they get aggressive on JT as well.
Well, you just use the speed so they can. Arrow won't connect from Kaka either, and that's going to be the second kill for CDEC already. You don't want to give too many kills away like this on Ame. It can get very, very dangerous very quickly.
It is kind of reminiscent of how Game 1 was in terms of these early kills. It's not quite as bad because IG's not lane swapping, but it does feel like CDEC already has that momentum very early on.
Actually problematic though, right? Because you've got this early game style lineup from IG that where you need to be running the pace. So it's only 2 kills for now. We'll just keep an eye out, see what's going to happen next. Is the top lane's not going to get any easier, I can tell you that. SRF is being very, very aggressive with the sticky napalm stacks, and the fortunes that will be thrown out onto SRF, just trying to apply more harassment to the Batrider. So Ollie is at that point where he's not even holding the fortune set for his carry anymore. He's just trying to make sure SRF can't even get close, and I think that's probably the right way to do it. If he does get SRF very, very low, he's going to try and firefly the creep wave down, but Ollie, one more Purifying Flames will do it. It is a bit of lag right now for some reason, which does tend to happen the AU to China server, but SRF does eventually get away.
Yeah, this does give Ollie a couple of denies to go for himself, and SRF gets tipped. So there is some inefficiency there. Like SRF did miss out on, I believe, a range creep and like 2 melee creeps. Overall, it's still not the easiest time for Fly, even if he is left alone. Creep wave is kind of not pushing in his favor. But that is time for him to play catch-up. Like, he's at top of last. It's now 29-6. So he has managed to bounce back in.
Patience. Where have they gone? Mid lane. Emo. Let's end up going down to James. And it looks like Emo was actually trying to make a jump onto XM on the Queen of Pain, but quick rotations out from the supports from CDEC does not pay off, and CDEC, they're just kind of roaming across the map with these 2 supports. Babs back down to the bot lane where they may need to relieve some pressure from Ame, who is currently being dived by Kaka and BP. Well, here comes Victoria. They could definitely go onto JT right now, as he doesn't really have too much defensive mechanisms. He gets a spear off onto the Lich. That is not going to help too much, as they will just chase him down. That lag is not stopping, but JT is still dead. James will just slowly pick away Kaka of that Mirana.
Yeah, it does feel like CDEC is finding that early momentum that we saw them get in Game 1. IG with their supports just don't have as much rotating potential. Like Kaka can, for sure, but Ollie can't really leave that lane, and
it's alright. Give him the tip. Here we go.
Look at that projectile. It's still fine though.
Emo's in trouble right now. He's being locked up. Even the fish up, but the Sonic Wave will come from XM. That is a 5-0 lead for CDEC. This is a very, very dominant start. And
yeah,
I don't know what to say, John. The IG just can't get anything going for themselves.
Yeah, it's not that Game 1 where he had Flash Farm and Emo to depend on as well with the TA. He's on a DK, so he just hits 6, and you have to make whatever you can work, like push an objective if you can. The farm scaling for IG isn't great. Like, you are relying on maybe a bit in Fly, but it's not much. So you can't actually afford to lose out this hard. You need to just find a safe EXP, group up once you have some level 6s, and try to melt maybe the top tier 1 or the mid tier 1. Those are really the only spots you can get a safe push going.
On the broader side for IG, Fly, because SRF has been skipping the creep wave every time, has been able to actually come up quite nicely. Sitting at 41 CS, 14 denies. You do have Jake now making the rotation on the Earthshaker, but immediately Fly will just jump away. We'll deal with the Earthshaker rotations. He saw what happened to Emo in the mid lane. Not the Emo, they're making a dive right now onto that Lich, and Arrow will connect there from Kaka. That is still coming from IG. Do that +5 though. XM jumping in from that Queen of Pain now. James gonna join up as well. Onto Emo, but I think he's a bit too tanky at this point, or maybe not with SRF, who does rotate in on the Batrider, and now Emo will be burnt alive. Arrow will not connect. Lasso just to commit, just to make sure they get this kill, as they did lose James. And you know what, in all fairness, it's not all bad for IG, right? Because you at least found 2 kills for your trouble. Still not great news that you're losing this DK over and over again. But I think he'll be okay with the fact that he could just still do his job without that farm anyway.
Yeah, it's like, it's not the most farm sensitive hero. You are not really finding the pressure in the objectives though. So Emo's next form should really focus perhaps on pushing down a tower to get themselves some breathing room. And while you get all those rotations out, of course you leave Ame alone.
Yeah, but Ame's fine. JT's the one in trouble though. That's Edict will save the day for now. XM still chasing Arena. Will not save the day. Nelly probably will die here. As oh, this is some really bad lag. XM, he's gonna blink in. And well, it looks like Ollie will actually turn around onto him.
Oh no!
Oh, no! You can't do that.
No, Arrow, Kaka, you played yourself.
Yeah,
2 next level. 2 next level. He expected a step forward. Opportunity there, but IG 8-2 are only 2k behind. Again, a lot of that is riding on Fly. So Fly's had a better start. Still need first item, expecting an Echo Saber fast. And once that's up, perhaps he can't play with his DK and force.
Easily, Frost Blast to be there. Then will perch off the Shadow Strike from X. Now Emo actually gonna make a chase. He has 3 braces on that DK right now, but just no boots to speed up. They make the jump to Arme. It'd be a great time. In fact, Arrow does connect, but XM cleans up Kaka. Still that PO falling very, very low. Arme, he will die. 2-for-1 trade in the end, but IG, they found the pos 1 kill. That may make it worthwhile. In fact, Emo trying to go for the outpost right now. It's a risky play, but it does take to do it. Does get outpost, does get away with his top intact.
Yeah, it's, they do still get the EXP split in the end, so CDEC can be okay with that. However, losing Ame is not good news. You really don't want to be missing out on that PL. Still has more than enough at this point, but gotta be careful. But how far forward you push Ame? This does give IG a bit of an opportunity to get a push going down bot. The Dragon form does expire. Drag Fly down as well. They just want to take this objective out very soon.
Why not? You got the DK after all. You don't need Dragon form. Do it the old-fashioned way. Fly even finding himself a nice boundary with that trusty shot alongside it. CDEC will try to return the favor, but they're not really in position to take that top tier 1. Instead, XM's got an arcane rune and looks to try and make a play here on maybe onto Kaka. Blinks in, however, and misses the scream.